Alrighty, folks, we are live from the same place, same time. Refresh worked. Nice. Hello, Zumya. How are you? Welcome back. We're watching FIDE Grand Swiss 2025. Key game here between Norbek Yakubov and Buddy Pranav. Norbek trying to convert this one still with the extra knight. And we're thinking black has reasonable drawing chances, but definitely very hard to hold. And white just made move 40, so black needs to make his 40th move here, and then they'll get extra time. Didn't Kostya have wooden board? Do you mean like in my house, or do you mean like the theme? I can change the theme. I'm not married to the green board here. Blood Queen, how are you? One of our dojo streamers. Good morning. Wooden theme. I do like the wooden theme for classical tournaments because it feels like you get a bit more gravitas. Let's see, wood, burled wood. I always liked walnut, actually. Maybe I go with the walnut. Oh, yeah. Oh, look at that guy. Now we have a proper chess game, huh? Now we under. Before it was like an online. I understand, actually. This is much better. Before it felt like a Title Tuesday game we were watching. Now we know what's happening. These guys are pushing wood. Which actually insult, but here I mean it in a nice way. Very respectful. Have I tried the 3D chess game? The 3D pieces, I've never been able to make them work for me. But some people actually really swear by them in terms of like helping them with like over the board play. I think it might be a bit of a rationalization. To me, it still feels like a screen, and an OTB chess is OTB chess, and it's different. But maybe there's some in between. Folks, if there are other games you would like to see, I'm running the stream now. Not Jesse, who insists we only watch one game for the most part. So we can check it out because these guys, they just made time control, so they're probably going to be thinking, okay, I mean, endgame is very sharp. Rook takes f2 is coming. Honestly, no idea what's going on. Is Prague still playing? Oh, by the way, quick update. Gukesh game. Nico did play king c7, 38 minutes on his clock. Rook a7 check. And we were thinking that this is winning for black. Because d2 is coming once the checks run out. And it seems like black is faster. So Gukesh in big trouble here. Update there. Prague is playing Rauf Mamedov, who is very, very strong grandmaster from Azerbaijan. But Prague, I don't think has great chances to win this one. It's 2-on-2. Black has no real weaknesses here. His rook is attacked. He can move it to b8 or a8. I'm guessing b8. Just looks more logical. The knight needs like a couple moves to come back. Short of a blunder, feels like black should hold this. But yeah, you never know. You never know. Ooh, do I invest on a Chestnut Robotics board? I saw their new board that moves the pieces for you. I'm very excited about it. I haven't tried it yet. They were going to send me one, but I don't think they did. But that could be cool. I don't know. I would say if it works well, then it's cool. If it doesn't work well, then not worth it, most likely. Yeah, I guess I haven't seen too much on the robot one. Like whether like can you play online? Because it might be one of those things where you can play against someone who like also has the board, but it would be cool if you could like play on chess.com and it moves the pieces for you. I'm not sure if it actually can do that. I haven't looked into it. Thanks, Matt. We'll do. Okay, so this one I'm gonna say draw. Who else? Keimer. Playing. Where's Keimer? He's playing Robert Hovhannisyan from Armenia. This... Okay, generally white should be winning because he's up a lot of material, but the problem is that I think in practice it's really hard to convert because you have to find a way to hide from the checks. And it might objectively be a draw, but in practice, like, just hard to win, hard to defend. Maybe it's harder for black, actually. Like, because black also has to find a bunch of precise checks, and white just needs to slowly... Like, white has two ways to win this. Slowly march the a-pawn or somehow coordinate to win the g-pawn. I'm guessing it's a draw, though. Like, I'm guessing black... Because the king is so open, it just feels like there's so many checks, and it's just very hard to make progress without always allowing tons and tons of checks. Could be another 9-hour game, guys. Could be another 9-hour game. You know, who knows? Who knows what will happen at the end? It can play online, but with a 3-second delay. So that's still decent for rapid chess. But yeah, of course, blitz would be impossible. But for rapid, that would be good. Careful, Clutch. Careful. You know what maybe they should do? Maybe they should have the arbiters kind of tag team. You know, like you work for a 5-hour shift and then second guy comes out, you know, fresh hands. What is generally expected in terms of the result, 2650 versus 2750? I think that's a math question, actually. I don't know. Like, I don't know what the expected results are for 100-point gap. But I will say at the higher levels, it gets more and more drawish, as far as I can tell, because the game has a drawish nature. Like, you know, a 2650 might hold a drawn endgame against a 2750 more accurately than a 1400 would against 1500, for example, because there's going to be more mistakes with the lower rated players, so like more winning chances. But at higher levels, you know, if a 2650 gets some simple like fillet or rook endgame, they're not losing that to anyone. So that's why I feel like at the higher levels it gets a tiny bit more drawish. 200-point win rate is 200 points is 75% win rate. 100 points is 62% win rate. So 62%, that means, what does that mean exactly? Like, I guess out of 10 points, you're scoring 6.2. Like basically out of 10 games on average, you would score between 6 and 6.5 points. Okay, so this one I'm going to say likely draw. I have bad news for Ivanchuk fans. Decent news for Jordan fans. Looks like Jordan took down Chucky, handing him his first loss. H3 knight Erf, E5, knight B3. Ooh, Jordan went G4 with almost, you know, all of his time. Rook C8. So here G4, Chucky was out of book. F5, D5. Black playing very inspired chess, but the king is in the center, so risky. Wow, very, very tense game. 2 bishops. Both players in time trouble here. Move 27. And resign. So here is over. 95 check to the knight, and then it's mate in 2. So here, if black doesn't play f6, then of course h6 square is covered, but the knight is in trouble. So f6, and I mean he played f6 on 1 second, so I think he knew bishop h6 is coming. It's just no other move, you know. Otherwise, he's just losing the knight. So might as well play f6. Hope the opponent blunders, doesn't see bishop h6, and yeah. Bishop e2 knight Erf system is making a huge comeback. Interesting. Interesting. I also think if I played someone 100 points lower than me, I would score more than 6.5. And I think that if I played someone 100 points higher rated than me, they wouldn't score more than 6. That's fair, right? That's consistent. So Jordan, not a friend of the dojo today. On other days, sure. Today, not so much. Ooh, okay, Gukesh game. There's action. So check, king comes up, check, king comes up. Rook d6. But he's playing rook d6 without taking any of the g-pawns. So here comes the engine, as Jesse was talking about. Rook c2 check. And now d2 and c3 are coming. And basically, long story short, we were analyzing this endgame a lot with David and Jesse. And like, white's just never stopping the pawns. So here, the only question is whether white gets enough counterplay in time. But it seems like he's very slow. We were looking at this position with black having like both g-pawns missing and promoting, and that was still losing. Here, white hasn't even taken the g-pawns yet. So this seems like Theodora is well on his way. I'll just show you guys basic line here. Let's say here, d2, here, c3, and then rook c1, rook e1 check is coming to kick the king away from d1 square, and then black just promotes and is getting a queen, second queen. 2700 chess about to crash. Exactly. Where does being a member of the Chess Dojo increases odds in your favor? Look, there are some examples of this. Andy Woodward, he's doing well. Who was it? Who else? Was it Mishra? Mishra, you know, he follows the dojo philosophy, doesn't use engines so much, also doing well. Who else is the dojo at? Nico Theodoro, friend of the dojo, defeating the world champion. So if you guys want to defeat the world champion one day, use code Samarkand to get 20% off first month, ChessDojo.club. And I guarantee everyone that signs up today will one day defeat a world champion of chess in a classical game in the FIDE Grand Swiss. Sir, I want to join the dojo. Nishan, we would love to have you. Join the online chess community known as ChessDojo. Get 20% off your first month. Sorry, Joel. But Joel, that will be the last month you ever have to pay for it, because I think we're gonna set you up as an affiliate, maybe dojo coach. So take care of you. But yeah, guys, it's a great time to join the dojo. The best time to join was several months ago, so you could have put in that time and by now have already been a strong player. But now is the second best time to join. Okay, rook c2 check. If I was Gukesh here, I would just spend all my time, because the sooner he loses this game, you know, the sooner he has to go out and face the music and the media and the questions. I think Gukesh has a great mindset, like great head on his shoulder, a lot of support around him. I'm hoping the people around him just don't let him read Twitter and Reddit and all that. I'm hoping they just keep him away from, because like he just doesn't need it. You know, he doesn't need it. He's a world champion. He doesn't have to prove anything to anyone. He just needs to focus on improving his game. And people are going to chastise him, but it should really be said that he has been playing like incredibly ambitious chess. Like yesterday against Mishra, he basically went all out, like essentially forced Mishra to sacrifice a piece and like kill him. So he is playing with the utmost ambition, which makes me not really worried about him at all. But I do hope for his mental sake that his team doesn't let him read all the nonsense you see out there. So funny. Make other promises about the program. Yes. Let's see. Well, we recently crossed over 200,000 rating points gained collectively as a dojo. So what that means is all the students in the dojo have gained a combined 200,000 rating points. And that's just counting their main rating. So everyone chooses one main rating in the dojo. It could be your FIDE rating, chess.com rating, Lichess rating. Everyone picks one, and then we track how they do. But that also means that people have gained rating in multiple systems. USCF, FIDE, Lichess, chess.com. We only track one of those. The number is probably much higher in terms of the collective gain, but it's great. We're well on our way to 1 million points served. How did Gukesh mess this game up? Well, without looking at the engine, I can give you my best guess. So here, okay. Let's start from the end game. Rook e8, take. Here, 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 here. How many points have been lost? So no, so this number, this 200,000 point number includes rating that was lost, because sometimes the number actually goes down, which I don't like. I feel like we should just keep counting the rating that we've gained for people. But sometimes the rating goes down because people lose rating. So this 200,000 figure, I don't know how many points people have lost, but this includes the losses, meaning that we've outgained the losses by 200,000 rating points. Yeah. And I think we have something like, I believe we have something like 1,500 or even, I think we're even up to 2,000 graduations. So graduation is when someone goes from 100-point cohort to the next cohort. So from 400 to 500, from 500 to 600, et cetera, et cetera. So we've had, I think, something like almost 2,000 individual graduations. Now, some of those graduations is the same person graduating multiple times, going from 3 to 4, 4 to 5, 5 to 6. But yeah, a ton of people have gained. How many points is that on average? I couldn't tell you, because right now we have about 2,000 members, but of course many people have like joined and then left, so like the number of members we've had over the years is larger. So I don't know like the average rating gain. I think we have done some stats, and I think it's something like maybe like 40 points is like the average, like if you just did like a pure average. But of course everyone is different. A lot of people gain much more than that, and then some people don't gain at all. Some people lose points, right? So it's not like you're guaranteed to just gain 40 or 50 points. It's more that the people that are doing the work end up gaining a lot. Not everyone like puts in a ton of effort. Even the people that don't always gain, like myself. Like I've gone down since starting the program. So it's not a guarantee that you would gain, but for the most part, the people that have been doing the work definitely have seen improvements. Also, it's just a very fun community, if I may say so myself. You know, a lot of people find training partners and they work together. I was just looking at the Discord. Like in the Discord, we have a forum where people can post that they're looking for a training partner. Like, hey, I'm 1600. This is my time zone. I'm looking for someone to play some end games with. And that forum is just like bustling. It's just like multiple posts a day, super active. Every post gets responses. So even if you don't join the program, guys, but you're interested in finding people to help you with your chess, Discord is free. You can join the Discord, find training partners there, discuss books, ask questions. You can discuss, the latest arbiter controversy that's out there. Lots and lots of stuff. Rach Angel has 5 minutes before interviewing Nicholas. Oh, okay, bit of a spoiler there, but I think that was expected. All right, guys, questions for Nico from our dojo correspondent on the scene, Rach Angel. Um, no. I love that our questions get to the player. It feels like we're part of the action. Okay, so of course, how does he feel beating the world champion? Maybe is this the biggest win of his career? That could be a good question. Um, Chess-wise, we were very interested in how he repeated moves to make the time control. So maybe you can ask him if this was like deliberate, that he was just trying to repeat to make it to the time control to get more time to figure out the rook endgame. I mean, I think it was very deliberate, but maybe you can ask him, if that was his specific strategy. Oh, bishop f5. Yeah, opening I didn't really pay attention to too much, but yeah, it looks like he spent 23 minutes there, so probably he wasn't fully prepared. Yeah, maybe you could ask him about his goals for the tournament. Oh, and definitely tell him I said hi. Definitely tell him I said hi, and that we're very proud of him. Very proud. Yeah, that's a good question from Matt. Like whether um, he's noticed all the big upsets, and whether he thinks there's changing of the guard coming. I have met him. He was living in St. Louis for a time. He went to St. Louis University, I think. So he was very close, and we were talking about he's a fan of the pod. So he yeah, we played once. Actually, I drew him once with white when he was a grandmaster, maybe 2 years ago. So we had interesting game. I was very happy to hold with white. Yay! Thank you. Actually, that's a great question from Clutch, because I wasn't really able to optically figure this out myself. But like, where does he think Gukesh went wrong? Because I do think Gukesh was more than likely fine in this endgame, but somewhere he really, of course, Gukesh really blew it. But that would be interesting where he thinks, yeah, because it really, there's no obvious blunder that I can tell. Maybe there is for their level, and it's going to be sounds like a dumb, but for me, I don't like. It seems like he was okay. Rook takes a7, like he's very active. Knight's like here, I would think white is doing well, because it seems like white's rook is broken free. Knight e5 is coming. And here you end this like. I definitely imagine that if Gukesh wanted a draw in this game, he would have made it happen. But I think at this point, Gukesh is still playing for the win. And here's where I think it just gets super messy after rook c3. I think this position is now chaotic. So I don't know, Gukesh, I feel like maybe underestimated something here or misevaluated, but this is where it seems like it's already out of control. And then this happens. And then black took. And now once black takes and gets d4, at this point, I don't know what the objective eval here is, but at this point, to me, this looks super dangerous for white. So to me, it feels like white has already messed it up once we get to this point. Even if there's some computer draw, it just feels very, very difficult to find. And of course, Gukesh wasn't able to find it despite having a decent amount of time. So here, e6, rook c1. That's it. Game over. So Gukesh resigned. Yeah, because after e7, the simplest would be rook e1. Maybe the only way. If white promotes, we're just taking and making our own queen. And otherwise, the fact that black has two protected passers just wins the game. So two protected passers in the rook endgame, as usual, triumph. It's not always winning, but it is generally super, super dangerous. So congrats to Nico. Well done. Sorry for Gukesh. He's having a very rough tournament now. Very rough. 2 losses in a row. I still think he's going to be able to bounce back because he's incredible. But yeah, he's got his work cut out from him. Oof, not my world champ. Someone's asking, when's my next tournament? Probably U.S. Masters, late November in Charlotte, the second capital of the U.S., second chess capital. Magnus has never lost. When Magnus did lose 2 in a row, that next day was always something to watch. Like Magnus always brings it after a loss. Maybe one of his like best qualities actually is that like the dude just like comes back. And after 2 losses, don't even look at him. Don't even talk to him, bro. He's gonna crush. Okay, guys, more games we can follow. Prague, a bit of an update here. Knight d6, bishop f6 played. Probably the only like way to try to be annoying. Mamadov took. He didn't have to take, but of course, if he doesn't take, he has to watch out for knight e8. Bishop f8 is always rook h1. So he traded. So he seems confident that he can hold this. And then Prague hasn't recaptured yet, which is a bit weird. Okay, there you go. Probably was away from the board. Knight c5 played. And yeah, I can't imagine black. Okay, the only grief would be rook e7 here. But clearly he has a response to that. I think rook e7, he's just going rook f8, just sitting. And asking white, what do you want to do? And yeah, really hard to imagine white's winning this, but seems like Prague is gonna push and try and hope for blunder. Let's see. Oh, Buddy Pranav. Oh boy, this is really close. King e5. I'm thinking it should be a draw. I don't think white has a way to hold this pawn with the knight. The structure is not fixed enough. If you guys imagine the black's pawn was on b5, that's a winning endgame for white because you put the knight on a6 and black is not able to get to your pawn. Like he can get to your knight, but then you move your knight and then it takes several tempi to get to the pawn. Knight goes back to... So that would be winning. But here, the knight doesn't have a stable square. So one way or the other, black is going to be able to trade off the last pawn. So this game looks like a draw. Both players going to move to 4 out of 6, which is a +2 score. So both players doing well here. It's just Jesse just constantly refreshing 27. Exactly. Okay, so here draw is about to be agreed. Andy Woodward playing. Why didn't anyone say anything? Chat, you have failed the dojo. Andy Woodward is currently in battle in a chess game where he plays. Oh, and we didn't see any of the women's games yet. Oh man, we got... Oh, here we go. He's playing Daniil Yufa, formerly from Russia, now representing Spain. And Andy has got an extra pawn here. Reminds us of the endgame that Mark Andrea won against Vincent Keimer yesterday with same color bishops, extra pawn. And Andy is just broken with g4. To me, this looks really good for Andy. I think he's got great winning chances here. I feel like he could have played f3 as well. f3 seems perfectly reasonable, but this actually might be the end of the game, guys. Because with g4, what he wants to do is to win both pawns. So he's just going to win this pawn for free, and then he's going to have 2 extra pawns. So Andy Woodward, he's winning this endgame. I don't think black has any chances here. Like, this is a weakness. I think it's just... I would win this. I would win this against Magnus. Like, it's just that over. Just that over. That's how bad it is. Sensei eval, Kostya would win it against Magnus. Rage Angel got all the questions in. Nice. Nice. They're about to ask me about what SummerCon is like in the Title Tuesday stream. Woohoo! Have fun. Have fun. I can't wait. I'm going to watch it later. That's funny. Oh, sorry, Matt, sorry, there's no links, but I'll just copy the link that Matt Eagle posted in the chat. Very, very interesting article, apparently, about Magnus and his win rate after losses. Oh, let's go. Let's go. Thanks, Rachel. The No Engine Chess Dojo stream. Nice. Not to brag, guys. Not to brag, but there have been multiple very strong players, not necessarily elite players, but like strong grandmaster, like 26 plus, that I've met, last couple of years, that admit big fans of the pod and the content. So it's nice that like strong players, appreciate what we're doing here. It feels like we're the channel for the people. Okay, so here, bishop g5 here, king takes g4 on the board, and I think it's almost resignable. It's almost resignable because like king f4 is coming to win the second pawn. If white takes on e4, it's over. And if bishop e5 to stop this, then bishop f4, all the king and pawn endgames are lost for black. Like you can't do this. This one would also just be losing, just d6, just ship it and clip it. He can go bishop c3, but then bishop f4, bishop g3. Let's say like this, and then king f4 coming. We have a move. Bishop c3, bishop f4 play. See, I'm winning this. Even I'm winning this. Would honestly be so awesome if No Engine became mainstream in chess streams. Yeah, I don't think that'll happen, unfortunately. And I don't even think it should happen. I feel like for the masses, I think eval bar commentary is actually better. Like I think for people that are like long-time chess players, like hardcore fans, strong players, I think for that group of people, No Engine watching is just much more interesting. But for the people that like tune in and they really just don't understand I'm not trying to be elitist here. 100% I'm not. I'm just saying like people tune in and they just don't know what's going on. Like it just and so the eval bar, it helps people to get into the game and feel like they kind of have a handle on stuff. Okay, bishop takes h4, bishop g3. Oh, bishop g5, even better. Okay, this is resigns. Man, Andy really blitzing it out. If I were gonna say one thing about, like, I would say Andy, just like you can take 10 seconds to make. I know all the moves are very, very simple, and even I would find them. And he is gonna resign here as black, but just take a little. I think it's just good practice to just take a little time when you're winning, just as a practice, just to make sure you're not missing anything obvious, simple, anything you have to calculate. I think it's just good habit to just spend a little bit of time. Here it's not necessary, he's winning the game, but in general, for everyone else, not named Andy Woodward or Magnus Carlsen, just take a little bit of time when you're winning. If you have 50 minutes on the clock, make sure you're winning. So, yeah, I do like the way chess.com was doing it for a time. Maybe they're still doing it like this, where they have like a broad stream, like a masses stream with the engine, and then they have like a more insider stream with like Gustafsson, Svidler, and Lyko, and like these guys, where I think they don't use the eval bar as much. I think they do use like the engines anyway, but it's kind of like more high level and more human analysis. The other problem when you have like a main broadcast is that people have access to the engine, so it's not like, you know, you can just prevent people from looking at stuff with the computer. So for the mass streams, like what's going to happen is that the commentators will just start to look silly if everyone in the chat has the engine and it's like posting the eval. Like here in our chat, people post engine stuff and eval stuff all the time. So you can only imagine what it's like in the mainstream. So it's just nonstop. So it'd just be very hard for the commentators, I think, to do a good job. Like, because if they read the chat, then they're seeing the engine moves. If they don't read the chat, then it's not like such a great show. So yeah. So I just think the solution is just have multiple casts like we do here. One with the engine for anyone that's like just tuning in, wants to see what happened, and one for more hardcore fans. How's Parham doing? Parham drew his game today with White against Arjun. Just want to find some endgame here we can watch. Let's see. We have Vincent against. You guys, let me know if there's a game you wanna check out here. There's Keimer against Hovhannisyan. Oh, actually, I didn't want to check on the women real quick. Do we have any? Oh, this game is still. This is board 1 actually. Vaishali won again. So Vaishali 5 out of 6. Logno and Dinara Wagner 4 out of 5. So if one of them wins, then they would also be leading. And this looks unclear, but I think White's doing well. Interesting endgame, though. You can stay here for a sec. Apparently, the tiebreak for Grand Swiss is average opponent rating. Feels crazy because it penalizes the high-rated players. It does, especially in this tournament. Like, it's not an advantage to be playing Mishra, Blue Bomb, Mark Andrea. It's not an advantage to be facing these guys. Parham, that's really funny. Yeah, they got to rethink that. Hello, TSW, man. TSW says, interesting seeing you guys going through the Gukesh endgame when he had an only move. Where engine commentary would make it seem like he messed up badly, but in reality it was... Yeah, and I mean, that's why it's like more fun to kind of sweat with the players, because you're more in the game with them. You kind of know what it's like. Whereas if you're watching with the engine, it's just really easy to get the wrong idea about the position. I do want to say, guys, when I just tune in, like if I just like woke up randomly and I wanted to see what's happening like Grand Swiss, I'd probably just check out the main broadcast. I like seeing videos of the players. I'll see the engine eval. You know, to me, it's like not the most important thing. But when I'm doing commentary myself and like following games, when you have the engine on, it's just kind of just deceptively makes you think that everything is so easy and obvious, and like once you see a move, you can't unsee it, you know? You just can't. So it becomes less interesting and harder to give your own impression. Like here, engine might be saying it's a draw, whereas I'd be saying, you know, humanly, it feels like White still has chances. This G3 move, that's strong though. That's a nice try, at least getting some counterplay. Because how does White secure the bishop and get the G pawn? If bishop f3, rook takes c2. So some technical difficulties for Katerina Logno. New to the channel, hello. This channel is actually run by 3 of us. Normally, there's 3 people here, including myself. I'm an international master. My name is Kostya. We also have I am David Pruess and Grandmaster Jesse Kraai. This is a shared channel where we try to cover high-level chess events and have interesting chess discussions and we always like to get along with each other. We never fight. There's never any fighting in the channel. It's very wholesome. No one gets mad at each other or like calls each other Nazis or anything like that. It's just very wholesome channel. Everyone's just trying to get better at chess. Yeah, everyone's friendly. It's just a real, it's just a really like just wholesome community that's just focused on improving chess one move at a time. I suggested a slogan for Dojo that the team wasn't so happy with, but I thought "Get Good" is kind of a good slogan for Dojo, but apparently there's some it's got people have feelings about the phrase "Get Good." So it might not be the most. I think it's a good slogan. You want to get good, join the dojo. Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Maiden. Exactly. Everyone's friendly all the time. No disagreements. Spoken in italics for emphasis. Rook g5 is a nice move, by the way. Going after the pawn with the rook. I didn't fully realize this was somehow I was looking at rook f5 check, but no, rook g5. There's no reason to give a check. And now, okay, very interesting question is what if black pushes g2, forcing white to trade rooks if they take the pawn? Because bishop takes g2, rook takes c2. That's definitely a draw. It's just one pawn. So if g2, rook takes g2, white would keep 2 pawns up, but at the cost of the rooks. Get good or die trying. That's good. I like that one. That's nice. So let's just put it on the board just to understand. So this would be where I start with black, because if you can play g2 and hold this endgame, then I wouldn't really calculate anything else. Because with opposite color bishops, generally it's going to be more drawish without heavy pieces on just the pure bishop endgame. So if black can hold this, then I wouldn't look any further. And to me, it looks like a complete draw. Like I think it's a very easy draw. a4, we go here. And the point is that black's king, honestly, black just needs to get to b8. So this is going to be a very quick lesson on fortresses. Not b8, b6. So let's say, oh, sorry, white's move. Let's say here. Let's say here. Let's say here. We don't even need to get to b6. So this is still a draw here. I'll just make some moves. I'm just going to shuffle. I just shuffle. I just shuffle. Wait, it's too much shuffling? No. We need our king. Hold on. Too much shuffling. We need our king on a7. So let's go here. And here. And this should be a draw. So let's say here. I'll go here just to latch onto the pawn. I guess I can just put the bishop on c6. I like this one. So that there's no king c6, I take the pawn. And if here, then I'll drop back here. And this, I think black should be able to hold very easily. So I'd go g2. Because I also wasted time there. For like I was just trying to make a point and I wasted a bunch of moves. So I feel like black is in time. So g2 played. Dinara Wagner also, same impression. Mel D, thanks for subscribing. Yeah, generally like A and C pawn, if it's 2 pawns that are right next to each other or 1 file apart, that's usually a draw as long as the king gets to the queen side in time. If the pawns were like A and D, like 2 files apart, then I think it starts to become very tricky, and it's like some positions are draw, some aren't, and then it's just hard. You have to just play, basically. So bishop d3 played. White doesn't take the pawn. So, this is a clear sign that white knew the endgame would be drawn, trying to keep more chances on the board with bishop d3. Thanks for following. Thanks for following. Yeah, if you're new to Dojo, we also have an online training program, ChessDojo.club, and a very friendly, very supportive, in all honesty, community that you can join. Got a very active Discord server. And right now, we're doing a deal on our online training community. So the Discord server is free, but if you want to join the training program and get a full training plan, you can use code SUMMERCOND to get 20% off your first month. Or, interesting, you can sign up for the whole year, which is also that discount's baked in. That discount is just baked into the price because we want you to sign up for the year. So we give you guys a deal because the monthly membership normally is $15. Yearly membership is $10 a month. So give you nice big discount on the year. So $10 a month, you get to join the dojo, join this like awesome community, get access to all the training partners, full training plan, some opening courses, materials to study, list of recommended books, a place to track your progress, a place to analyze you can upload your games and analyze them and then see other people's annotations. I'm running out of fingers. There's like more features. We got the new time management rating. Basically, it's a very cool site. We're very proud of it. We do think people should sign up if they are really, really interested in improving their chess. Yeah, bishop was untakeable here because black promotes. So king f5. Now stuff is hanging, but I think black can maybe still make a draw with bishop d4. Giving up the rook, but taking, because we just saw this endgame, and without rooks on the board, black does seem to be holding. Black seems to be holding quite comfortably. So bishop d4 to me looks like the move to save it, make the draw. Bishop d4 played. Nice. I'm sure it's a great interview, Rachel. Sure you did great. Bishop d4 played. Now we're going to see this opposite color bishop endgame. I don't think the king can get cut off because if basically it's the bishop can also stop the pawns. So white will need to use the king to push the pawns. So either white's king has to like kind of try to block black's king out, or black puts the bishop on like b6 a5. So king comes, but she's trying. So we are gonna see like the maximum that white can try to achieve from this endgame. So king d8, like king d6, and white tries to. I think there could still be a little bit. Is there? No, I don't think there's drama here actually. I just go here. And shuffle. But let's see. Let's play it out. So here. Let's just try to achieve the most we can from white. Okay, here. Now, there's no zugzwang because we always have a square for a bishop. So let's say king b5. I want to try this. So if king b6, then I give check. And this is kind of my fortress, right? So I don't think white can really break this. So again, I would try here. If here I'm giving check, and if king, let's say a5 or something, then my suspicion is that this was a draw with bishop on a7. This might be the easiest draw, actually. I had king on a7 last time, bishop on... I think this is the best fortress. Bishop on a7, king on c7. This is unbreakable. This definitely a draw. So here, I wonder... This would actually be really interesting if anyone can find a win here for white. Because this seems like the maximum that white can achieve. But I feel like it's still... So a5, we would go bishop here. And then if... No, sorry, a5... Sorry. We go here, of course. Ah, okay, lose the tempo. But still we're playing king c7. Wait. Okay, a5. King... I don't know, wait, the pawn is hanging, sorry. So let's say here. Here. So I'm not sure. So like here, I still don't see how white wins this. Here. Then go back. A6, king c7. Why not king b7? So on king b7 in any position, say here, I go here. And then there's no, I'm just shuffling back and forth. There's no zugzwang, there's no breakthrough. So you basically have to get the pawn to a5. If black is allowed king c7, bishop a7, I think that seems to be a draw, because you'd have to go back. And then we still have this. And then king b7, bishop c7. So this one, king c7. Okay, let me pause here, because there's a bit of a delay with it. But do you guys see anything here? Because here on a5, I want to go king c7. We do have some moves, but I think they're basically going towards this direction. But let's say, I mean, it is close. If black was down like a tempo or so, it might have just been lost. So it's not like it's always a draw. But when we started this endgame, basically this was like the best version that white could achieve. Okay, Joel wants to try it with the a pawn. Absolutely. So let's say we get a5. But how would you get it done, right? Because this position definitely a draw, right? So how would you get it done? Bishop on d7 is probably not like super well placed, because it's like we don't have to put, like, we can put the bishop here. I think it's more flexible for white, but yeah, I don't see the breakthrough. Feels like. But we can keep trying though. I'm happy to keep. So here, wait. Hold on. Bishop d7. What do we do here? a5, king c7 here. This I would play here. Oh wait, no. Now this is lost. Now this is lost. So that's losing. So I think here would be a better defense. Bishop moves. But then I can go back. I think I can also shuffle. Wait, no. King b7. Sorry. King b7. Wait. So this here is losing, this position. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. All right, let's see live position just to see where they're at. And the thing is, they don't get extra time, so they're just playing this on the increments. So here. King doesn't get in. Okay, let's try again. Let's say here. The problem is like there's this Zugzwang that's happening. Like here for example. And then whatever black does, white basically gets this. And this is kind of Zugzwang for black, right? Because king b7 is coming. Wait, there's still this. So how does... Oh. I heard a yawn.
That's a sigh. That's a parent sigh.
Okay. One sec, guys. Let me bring David in.
Woo!
And he can help us with this end game. So Nico won.
Dang, brutality for Gukesh.
Yeah.
Gukesh's fans in shambles. No.
Yeah, so...
And Kostya's even got a game from the Women's Grand Swiss up now. Awesome.
Yes, I remembered. His board won too, actually. And it's a very, very spicy endgame. You know, if it was Arjun and Gukesh playing, Jesse would be all over this.
Wait, but I didn't see Vaishali.
Vaishali won. Vaishali won.
I thought you said you were on board 1.
Yeah, I think a couple players caught up to her, actually.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Okay, let's get David in.
Is David streaming? Kostya's streaming. And
Oh yeah, I think actually I think they might not hear you yet. Apologies.
I'm talking to Kostya.
David's talking to me. One sec, we're almost...
Oh, Vaishali on board 2, that's crazy, but she made good use of board 2.
Okay, I think we have David audio now.
Okay.
And now...
Thanks for having me, Kostya.
Now for the finishing touches. No, of course, thanks for coming back.
Kostya's ambitious. We're getting finishing touches. This looks like an endgame from 2 days ago. Or even yesterday. There was the same endgame. Who won it? Nihal. From yesterday.
Really?
Nihal won this as white yesterday. Against... Who was it?
I think he beat
Indian.
Maybe Mendonca yesterday?
Mendonca, exactly.
Someone, yeah.
Similar.
Exactly.
He had a D pawn instead of a C pawn, and then it was flipped to the king side. But he managed to get his king.
But he had two pawns like split with one file.
Right.
Nice.
And he had one pawn left on the other side of the board, I think. So he sacked one pawn to get the other one, to get his king in. It's a little different, but it's still a bishop ending.
Oh,
he's getting close.
Audio. Is David still quiet, guys, or good now?
Oh, yeah. Hello, everybody. I was just coming in with a huge sigh, and Kostya was like, whoa, that's loud. And in my head, I was thinking, like, man, everybody says their Domus's game yesterday was an epic struggle, but they should they should have got to my kids to school this morning, you know? Now that's a struggle.
Funny. So we're thinking this is
Hey, Anushka.
winning, David.
This looks winning because it looks like the white king just goes to b7 and then the a pawn goes to a7. It looks done.
Yeah,
But,
I mean,
but maybe you guys are deeper into it then.
I think it wasn't so easy because, like, if you imagine Black's bishop on c7,
Mm-hmm.
then it's not enough to just there's some zugzwang you gotta find.
Black's bishop were on c7, I would play a6.
But where's your king?
I don't know. It's on c6 right now.
Yeah, I just mean if you just put the king. Oh wait, I'm not even looking at live position.
Maybe you don't have the live
check
position. Sorry.
here, here, here. Yeah, this is over now.
She may have resigned or flagged here.
Yeah, she either resigned or flagged. Wait. So what was the last couple moves? Because I was saying without a5, like if king b7, bishop c7, then you still have to.
I see what you mean when the pawn's still on a4.
Yeah, but she played a5 first.
So yeah, so the bishop went to b4. Maybe it could have gone to a5 first. So on king b5, you play bishop c7.
She should have played bishop a5. Yeah.
You think? But even there, king b5, bishop c7, and then a5, right?
Yeah.
So the threat is a6, a7, and anytime the bishop drops back to b8, we take c6 with our king, so Black's king can't come.
This is what we're looking at, but actually, yeah, we were putting White's pawn on c6, but it's much better to not have the pawn on c6.
Oops, yeah. That's the square the king needs.
I mean, it might even be winning with the pawn on c6, but here it seems like actually it's even easier. Bishop b8, king c6.
Yeah.
And king just walks in.
Yeah.
Wow, so Logno.
And I understand why she didn't want to put her bishop on c7 because that's the square her king needs, right? The setup for Black to dream of a draw around move 59, right, would be bishop on like g1 to a7 and Black king on c7.
Yeah. Yeah.
And basically the key to this whole position for White is never letting the Black king come to c7, I think. And if I backtrack like 4 or 5 more moves, the moment Black plays king d8, White plays king d6 and never lets that king get across. It's almost like the technique you would use if you had bishop and wrong colored rook pawn.
Right.
And there was nothing else on the board, right? You'd have to use this thing to never let their king get across.
So after king d6, might already be losing.
It's already done so, yeah. If the Black king can't get to c7, there's kind of nothing to discuss, I think.
See, this was super interesting because several moves ago, Black basically gave her last pawn to force the rooks off, which I also was thinking I would do. But, yeah, we weren't able to figure out the endgame.
After that transition, king e5, and you can't keep White's king from c6, so you can't get your king to c7, so it's done.
By the way, why king e5, not king e6? Do you have any idea?
Nope. Nothing wrong with king e6. Nothing wrong with that. It's a beautiful move.
Interesting. Okay. So Logno and Vaishali, I think, are leading in the women's.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, I'm getting a phone call.
Did you see Chucky blundered main and 2? That's not what happened. But I can understand your confusion. Let me show everyone what actually happened. Where's this game? Jordan. And it's not even the 1 second. He had 1 second when he made the move, but it's because he spent 30 seconds previously. So this is the blunder. So this was move 31. And Chucky has 40 seconds here. White just played bishop f4, threatening the knight, which is pinned. If you go knight g4 check, White takes with the queen. Or with the pawn. Maybe also good, but queen takes. If queen takes rook, bishop h6 is main in 1. If queen takes queen, we have rook takes e8 in between moves. So that's just completely winning. So there's no knight g4. Knight f3 check, I think, is also not working. So he went f6, not seeing a different way to defend his piece. And then bishop h6 was the end of the game. But basically, I don't think black has a move here. Unless knight f3 is working, but I would be very surprised if it was. Yes, it's not working. Knight f3 check, queen takes e4, bishop h6 check. King over. And then d7? Maybe it was still tricky. But he must have thought it was just lost here and then just made a move on 1 second. So when you played f6, you guys see it's 31 seconds. And that means he made it on 1 second, essentially. He basically just couldn't find a different move and played f6 instead of flagging.
First loss in the tournament for him.
Yeah. So I would say there's a little more to the story that he just blundered made into. A little more to the story.
I mean, if you're lost, then I already am careful about the word blundering, right?
Yeah.
Your position's already lost.
Maybe knight f3 check, he was going to go king h1. Maybe that's the answer.
I think that its game is going to be interesting for us to watch live, by the way.
Oh, cool. So is it a blunder when every move loses? Yeah, that's exactly the point. It's like when every move loses, then you can try to make the computer best move, which is going to lose anyway, or you can just try whatever. But yeah, basically the game was, I think, already over by then, essentially.
So the only move that doesn't blunder the knight or the checkmate is queen f6. And then the move queen e2 looks like it wins as well. So yeah, I wouldn't say it's a mistake or a blunder. It's just over.
Oh, I see. FIDE game against Demchenko.
Yeah. I mean, just a scan of the positions, that looked like the most lively game currently to me. Black could potentially just capture on g3 right here, right? So it's a mess.
Absolute mess. But a mess that feels nice for black.
Okay, that's good.
Because, like, bishop on b6 is kind of out of the game. Black's rook seem in front of white's king.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What a difference a pawn makes. When I first spotted this position, Kostya, I didn't see that the g-pawn was hanging.
Yeah.
Like, I saw the rook on g8, and I was like, oh my god, rook g3. And then I saw the rook on a3, and I said, okay, the pawn's defended. Mm-hmm. And then I thought, oh, complicated position. Black's down a pawn, but, they've got some well-placed pieces.
Yeah.
But without the g3 pawn, black might be winning or much better.
Yeah. So, like, bishop takes g3 here.
Mm-hmm.
Played. Now I feel like I would expect king h1. Yeah, just getting out of the way.
Do you think they've already used their extra 50 minutes and are down to 24 against 16, or that the clocks haven't rolled over yet?
I think the clocks have rolled over. I think, yeah, there's been enough time.
They've been playing for 5 hours and 20 minutes. You'd think that they've used it, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so they got another 14 moves to make here. So a second time trouble.
So the timestamps just aren't right, because the timestamps show them only having used 20, 30 minutes since move 40, which would not make sense.
Yeah, not sure. Not sure. Be nice when you went back through the game. It showed you the time.
Yeah. Okay, so the bishop on b6, I agree with you. That's the main factor in this position. Plus, then, there's going to be a bunch of calculation, right? But objectively speaking, black should be better because there's one piece that's not participating in mating or defending against mates.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it's just a competition to calculate each other. Rook g6 comes to mind, freeing both rooks a little bit in a sense. Queen d5 is playable, but really against the plan of checkmating.
Ooh, rook g6. Ding style.
Mm-hmm.
I like rook g6.
Yeah. And maybe knight e7.
Yeah, I was thinking knight e7, knight d5.
Yeah.
Could
Or
be
knight
nice.
e5, maybe? Send the knight even more aggressively.
Ooh, knight e5.
Yeah. That's a move where you have to be a little bit careful that you've calculated stuff like rook a7 correctly.
Mm-hmm. Oh, white is a threat. Yes. Yes, good. Joel, rook takes g3. Queen h4. White's got a threat.
Oh, so rook g6 is a huge blunder.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would actually have a big instinct to just take the knight on h2.
Oh, with your fearsome bishop. Just clear the space, huh? There's maybe a small issue with that, Kostya,
Yeah.
is rook h3 check.
Mm-hmm.
And instinctively, it's kind of misplacing our king.
Yeah, like king g7, rook h2. Yeah, who's attacking who?
Yeah.
But black always has queen d5, so I would think black is at least safe.
Queen d5 is always safe, but
Yeah.
my first instinct was black should checkmate white because of the bishop on b6. So queen d5 would at least be saying that I was wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Same problem maybe with bishop b8, which was my other instinct, is rook h3, misplacing my king, and it's not so clear.
Whoa. Rage Angel, our correspondent on the scene, saying Nihal was drug tested for hours.
God. They heard my question about rehab and misinterpreted it.
Jeez Louise. I mean, drug testing is a thing in chess. Normally it's just like you pee in a cup. And maybe he just didn't have to go.
Yeah, he was waiting for hours for the.
Drinking water.
Yeah.
I have a question for Nihal. Why did that take several hours?
Then it was taking so long, he started sweating out all the water he was drinking, because he was like nervous, like, I can't pee, I can't pee. And
Oh, queen d5 played. Okay. Vidits with the safety approach. Maybe he thinks this is a nice endgame, though, after rook takes d5.
yeah. But I would say almost most likely this means he didn't see a way to checkmate.
Mm-hmm.
He had, 20 some minutes on the clock.
Nice. Interesting. Yeah, I don't know what they test for in chess exactly, because I don't think Jesse would know what drugs are allowed or not allowed. Did you hear Jesse on the latest Perpetual Chess podcast that he did?
No.
Oh, it's pretty funny. So he's talking about he's talking about lots of stuff, but he was talking about how generally he's like not one to like try new stuff. He's like not like the early adopter. And then literally like 20 seconds later, he's like, "Oh, in October, I'm gonna take this new mental drug and play this tournament."
Yeah. I know about that. He invited me to the tournament too.
Yeah. I was a little. I don't know if I want to try.
Yeah, I was like, no.
Yeah,
Someone else can take the brain drug first before I take it.
yeah, I'd be a little scared.
I'll allow some animal testing on Jesse.
Just hitting James Canty might be in the.
James Canty's the commentator, so I
Oh,
don't know if they're
commentator.
gonna also give him the brain drug and see if his commentary improves or something, but
That's what I don't get. Is like if they give everyone the drug, won't everyone play above their
that's
level?
what I told him. I was like, you need to have a Scheveningen style tournament. One team has taken the drug and one team hasn't. You only pair them against the other people and see if you get like a rating performance increase for one team
Yes, and you
compared to
don't
the
tell
others.
the teams what team they're on. So you don't tell someone they're on the drug or they're on the placebo.
Right. Placebo team and drug team.
Yeah,
Otherwise, you just get the confident team and they're like, oh man, we're here to get beat by, Cyborg's team.
yeah.
Um,
Criderol.
but yeah, but like this, it's like, I was like, I don't get it, Jesse. Like, it sounds like they didn't use their mental drug before they set up this tournament.
Sure, they have some idea, but yeah, double blind drug trial. Let's do it. So funny. Yeah, Jesse's really into the creatine, um, which I mean I have heard not just from Jesse like that it has some mental benefits as well. But creatine I don't think is on the same level as like an Adderall or stuff like that in terms of the mental performance.
Mhm. Yeah. Do you have any sense what creatine does or is?
I mean, mainly it's supposed to help with like muscle like building and strength.
Muscle building.
So
Okay.
it's like it's generally considered a very like one of the basically one of the safest supplements for the bodybuilding community.
Hmm.
And but yeah, most people take it for like yeah lifting gains and stuff.
Gotcha. There was a slightly weird moment just now, Kostya. I mean, time is precious. They've got 13 moves to get to move 60, right? And they still have an interesting game. After Vidit thought a while and played Queen D5, White took back in a couple seconds, and then Vidit thought for a couple minutes before recapturing his queen. Like,
Yeah,
pawn takes D5 doesn't look tempting to me.
you might have just been away from the board.
Okay.
I'm not sure,
Yeah, that would make sense.
but yeah, I was definitely thinking Rook D5
Yeah.
is uh is the move, and now it's unpleasant for White. This pawn is the pawn is in trouble.
Yeah.
It feels very unpleasant. You have
Yeah, if
E5 in
black
the
takes the
position.
pawn on D4, then there's two connected passers on the board, so there are the necessary ingredients to win a game.
Okay, Rook D3 played.
Okay.
And now, basic question is what happens on Bishop takes H2?
Hmm. Rook H3, I imagine, again. But then, yeah, you still just take that deep one.
Eventually it's hanging. Yeah. So check.
Yeah.
Rook H2. King H2. And
Yeah, it's
then,
like King H2.
I don't know, Rook takes D4. But
Hmm.
there's a Rook G3 check. So Rook HG3.
Hmm. Yeah. Now the king's defending the rook, and if it goes to F8, Rook A8 wins, and if it goes back to the H file, Rook H3 repeats.
Okay. So that's the idea.
That's a draw,
Yeah.
right?
Hmm.
It's kind of a weird one, so I'm like not confident.
No, looks very forcing.
Okay,
Um,
so
so
checking.
Bishop H2 might not be so clear, but Black of course has other moves like Bishop F2.
Yeah, black can also say the D pawn's dead after Rook H3, King G7, and play a move like F5 or F6 or King F6, right?
Hmm.
Just preparing to answer Rook G3 with King F7 or just getting the king off the G file.
Yeah. So you're saying take, check,
Yeah.
and
My
then
instinct's going to be F6.
F6. Well, let's say rook g3.
Yeah, tell me which, because I got two different
Oh, sorry, right.
ideas in mind.
Rook ag3.
Rook A. Okay. So there, I'll go king f8.
King f8. Kind of feels like white should have enough play here somehow. With like rook f3, rook
Rook
h6.
Okay. He's played a different move, Hesvidit, by the way,
Mm-hmm.
but rook f3 makes sense to me. You kind of want to harry me with both rooks before I have time to take your pawn. I guess after rook f3, here I might play now f5. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I still have some chances.
Yeah, definitely. Knight d4 defends e6.
Yeah. It'd be hard to calculate from far in advance that white has an obvious draw here. So you could play towards this as black, because this is about as far as you would calculate, I think. You'd say it looks possible, but he's played rook d to g5.
Yeah. I feel
So
like
really
my
different
instinct here
theme.
is that it's still scary because white has like rook h7, rook a3.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, definitely unclear there. Rook g5.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Yeah. So totally lets off the pressure on d4 and instead prepares to checkmate the king.
Basically playing for mate. Yeah. Like bishop moves and rook g1.
Yeah, he's threatening bishop moves and rook g1. He's also got the idea of rook h5, kind of devastating. Let's say white played knight f3 here, which is the most obvious move
Yeah, exactly. Knight
to
f3, rook
defend
h5.
g1. Rook h5, king g2, and then I assumed there'd be something really crushing.
And I also thought.
I was like, and then bishop to... Huh.
Wait, it's close. Bishop e1,
Okay,
king f1,
king f1.
rook h1,
Yeah,
king e2,
king e2.
rook g2,
I love it.
king e3.
King e3. Yeah.
And then that's close. Bishop
Yeah.
f2. Bishop f2, king f4. Somewhere you get hit with f5.
f5 to go rook g4 then, right?
So it's very scary. I'll just say it's very scary for white because you can throw in some f5 somewhere. Knight f3, there might be other moves too. Maybe we're letting the king out. Maybe
Big
knight
mate
f3.
threat there at the end. Okay, but yeah, knight f3.
Like,
Well, our rook's attacked, so it was convenient to move it.
Yes. Good point.
Yeah. Yeah, if I could just drop my bishop back and leave the threat of rook h5 on the board, I would go for
But
it.
maybe like rook g4 and just like still.
Yeah.
It's
Still king g2. I think your line was really good. That was like a very plausible chase.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's a real hunt. And at the end, after f5, I mean, you were threatening mate in 1. We hadn't yet suggested what white is to do about it.
Yeah, fair. I just
I guess
just wondering if we had
h5.
better. I don't know about bishop e1. It kind of feels like maybe bishop could be better placed somewhere else. But yeah, why not bishop f4 actually?
Okay, bishop f4, king f2.
King f2. Okay, let's revisit the line. So, bishop e1, rook h1, check, and then bishop f2, king f4, f5. Threatens rook g4. If knight g5, check. Just king up.
Yeah.
But there's still king f3.
Yeah. So I think it's a bit of a problem, Kostya. And I think maybe... Oh, but if we don't throw in bishop f2, then there will be knight takes bishop. That's why we're pressed to keep playing these forcing moves.
f4. Maybe after king f4.
There we could relax for a moment and play something really beautiful.
Like rook h5 threatens mate in 2. Rook f5 and rook g4.
Yeah. That feels nice because when the knight moves, F3 is the escape square.
Mhm.
So I like that you've got rook F5 lined up.
Huh. That's crisping up.
Yeah, rook H5 looks murderous.
It's a nice one, huh?
Yeah, that's like some Polgar
Yeah.
magic. Don't tell Jesse you found this move before me, or he'll bother me some more.
Erdo would have spotted in half a second. Erdo too good.
I would have found it within, 10 minutes or whatever, which is, I think, is good enough for my purposes.
That's nice. Um, if you're interested, I was also following this Chimer endgame.
Okay. Yeah.
That basically I was saying I would think was going to be a draw. And okay, yeah, actually, so in an hour, White hasn't
Hmm.
made any progress except for losing a pawn he had on h4. So he hasn't made any real progress here with White.
Hmm. Unless secretly the position's better without the H pawn.
He did get his. Well, I have no idea if that could be the case, but he did get the king over to a3. It used to be all the way on the king side, so maybe.
Hmm.
But I don't know. I often feel like these endgames. I feel like I always see them go into our perpetual.
Hmm. Yeah. Well, yeah, I think it was before you were here, but apologies if I'm repeating myself to you, but I made this observation at the beginning of the day today, I think, with Jesse, that in a tournament of this strength, if you're one of the players who gets upset, the next round, you don't necessarily get an easy pairing, right? Like normally you'd want to win back, haul yourself back up, right?
Mm-hmm.
But there's basically no easy pairings, right? So I was thinking Prague, Gukesh, Kamer, huge upsets yesterday, right? But then today, oh, they still got tough opponents, right?
Yeah. I think Levon said in one of the interviews, it's like the problem with open tournaments like this is that if you don't start well, if you lose, you don't necessarily get an easier pairing. Like you
Hmm.
might get a low rated player, but you're not getting a less ambitious player. No
Right.
guarantee there.
Yeah. And
That's
then
tough.
everybody's pumped to play against you, right? Like they might be extra pumped, bring extra energy. Like, oh, I got to beat, the number three player in the world who's like, headed towards the candidates, Mr. Prague, Prague.
Yeah,
Let me
yeah.
give it everything I've got,
No,
right?
absolutely. People are sharks. Like when Kramnik lost a couple games in the Isle of Man Open, everyone
Uh-huh.
wanted to play him that tournament. It's our
Yeah,
chance.
right. Because normally these people are segregated. You got to understand, like you could be top 100 in the world, right? And you might, once or twice get to play somebody in the top 10 or top 20,
Yeah.
right? So you're just going around, like think Abhimanyu uh Puranik,
Hmm.
right? The soldier, the warrior of the road, right? Playing whatever, 20 open tournaments in a year in which he's generally the second or third seed,
Right.
sometimes the first. He's just playing and playing, fighting with underrated 2500s every day of the calendar year. How many times do you think he's played somebody in the top 10,
Not many.
Probably not many,
Not
right?
many.
And then you're in an open tournament, you lose one game to I don't know who came or lose to Moritzi.
Hmm.
If you get paired down with Puranik, oh man, it's like that's his chance, his moment. He's coming for you.
Yeah. By the way, Andy Woodward won today. He beat another strong grandmaster, Daniel Yufa,
Wow. Wow.
26-40.
Yeah. So Andy's going to get himself over 2600 in a second here. He's going to haul himself.
Yeah, I think he might get a super GM norm this tournament.
Yeah.
Shanklin, by the way, drew with Maxime Lagarde,
Okay.
the
Yeah.
second Maxime.
Number two, Maxime.
Number 2, Maxime L.
Yeah.
in the world. Okay, should we go back to Vidit? Bishop A5.
Yeah. Okay, the bishop tries to come back around.
He's still covering.
He thinks he has time or something, but what? Okay, most basic question answered, but bishop E1, rook H3 check, king G7,
Nice.
and then you can take the bishop and there's no mate.
Cold shower, blocking the rooks, and then there's no mate on G1. Nice.
Yeah, that's what happens when you get too clever.
All right,
Now,
next. Bishop F2.
Bishop F2. Rook H3.
Rook H3.
King G7.
Yes.
Knight F3.
Yes. Good.
And basically a game.
Basically, yeah. Black has kind of lost coordination.
Yeah.
Okay.
And black just has to hope that white doesn't have some kind of D5 shot next, and then who knows what happens.
The problem is this rook H3 check.
Yeah.
On every move.
Committed to the bishop G3 life. You could play rook H5.
Bishop hangs.
Bishop. Oh, the bishop's double attacked. No.
Oh, but there's also knight A5.
I'm like frozen by my bishop or something.
Knight A5, just rook takes, rook H5, rook A2. And knight D4 I don't think is working because white still has all these checks on the H file. So I don't see a follow-up after knight D4, rook D4. It is an option. I did look at it, but I don't think it works. Also, on knight D4, black can take the other piece. Oh, wait, no, the bishop's defended. Sorry. But yeah, just rook takes, and then there's checks on the H file.
What if black played rook C5 then?
After rook D4?
Yeah. I don't think this is likely. I'd say it's like a 1 in 1,000 chance this works.
Let's say, okay, I'll move the bishop, bishop D2.
Yeah, I think that'll be the end of the line.
Yeah.
Wait. It's not. Rook H5. You've broken your second rank.
You tricked me.
I didn't mean to trick you. It was an accident. I was surprised. Like against Jesse the last couple of days, I was trying to trick him. I just kept suggesting moves that allowed like mate in ones and things.
So maybe not bishop D2, bishop B4?
Okay, then my other main idea was to go rook C1.
Oh, rook C1 check. Yes. Okay. Now I understand. Problem.
Okay, I think I got a refutation for you. Rook G4.
Bishop takes H2.
Is there a cold shower awaiting me?
No, just kidding.
Rook H3.
Yeah, I should. Let's see. Seems like white's keeping the piece.
Yeah. Okay, so like Vidit Gujarati, we need a move right here.
9 minutes for Vidit. Oh, someone said Ferrugia was also playing Title Tuesday. So
Mike Sulu said he might too.
he said he would if he had a quick win, but I feel like he did finish in time. So he would play.
Yeah, he definitely.
Is Magnus playing because of the new Proctor? No, I mean Magnus has played in stream Title Tuesday multiple times already.
Yeah.
But I think now he's definitely, because now they have this new like esports like qualification thing. So now I'm sure he and others are like very motivated to play every week because he wouldn't really play every week religiously.
Does he need to qualify? He doesn't have an automatic spot.
Um, he probably does, but I guess he wants the competition. Also, the new thing is that like take. I think they've like partnered with chess.com on Title Tuesday. They seem to be
Yeah.
working together.
Yeah, they're doing an official broadcast for every Title Tuesday, which chess.com has sometimes broadcast Title Tuesday for a while, then stopped for a while.
Right.
Um, so this is a new this is a deal or a partnership or whatever for them to do it.
Yeah. I would play if we weren't doing this.
Yeah. Coast is in more or less peak blitz form.
I might play. There's like a after party thing that I think is at like 3 Eastern. I might play that. That's like a streamer thing. Some prizes.
The after party is another blitz tournament.
Yeah, it's like
Okay.
post Title Tuesday. And then starting October 1st, folks, I'm very excited. Chess.com is going to start doing this like new form of Arena Kings where you actually play for a club. So it's going to be like a multi-club arena. I'm guessing with a bunch of like streamer communities. And
Yeah.
I'm very interested in playing that along with the rest of Dojo.
Yeah. I can't wait to be on your team,
Woo.
Kostya. If you're okay with, I mean, it's probably rapid chess. If you're okay with having me on your team, I would love to.
Yeah, no, I think it's Blitz. Yeah, no, I think more the merrier. So
Yeah, blitz is going to be tough.
it would be great. We need all of our blitzer. We need Joel. We need a Craddock. We need Sam. We need Cabbage. 1800 strength.
Hmm.
He's got to play.
Yeah. Okay, I like that it's moved, Kostya.
F5.
It cost him well over half of his time.
F5. Nice. Stopping that Rook G4 and
Yeah.
preparing knight takes into.
So the crux of Vidit's problem was if he moved either rook, his bishop would be captured. But if he moved his bishop, then rook h3 would break the coordination of his rooks.
Mhm.
So he plays f5, and he can bring the pawn to f4, anchor the bishop, and then the pawn is twofold, right? It's threatening to queen at some point, or it's threatening to help box in white's king.
Yeah. Nice move. On that note, I was thinking like, Rook HG6 could have been an idea to give the king squares, but I like this more because it just feels much more active, more ideas.
So Demchenko, it was hard for Demchenko, I imagine, to guess what Vidit was going to do.
Yeah, yeah. Black had a lot of moves there. Felt
Lots of stuff to figure.
now in Russian, the word "vidit," which is spelled the same, means to see, something.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
Russian
Also,
commentators they always say "vidit все vidit,"
mhm.
which means "vidit sees all."
Mm. It's the same in Latin, is what I was going to say, and Anushka as well.
No way.
Yeah.
How do you say "all" in Latin?
Something about semper, right? Semper.
Semper?
No, that's always. Semper.
Could you say "vidit semper vidit"?
Semper. Semper is always, yeah. Hmm. How do you say all or everything?
Omnis.
Oh, omnis. That sounds right. Yeah. Like an omnivore.
Hmm. So "vidit omnis vidit." Mishra's still being drugged. Jeez, these games have been over for a while. I I just want to ask. I don't want anyone to get upset. Who who
Somebody meddling with them.
who's running the drug testing? Who's doing it? I
Yeah.
mean, no, I'll stop talking.
Yeah. Because I mean, we said there was another job that might be a thankless job, but imagine handling the players' urine, Kostya. I mean, come on.
So thankless.
Those are some really special mega
No,
fans.
but I'm just like, are they giving instructions to the players?
Showing them a YouTube tutorial on how to urinate.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay. Let's just stick with Vidit.
stick with it.
And maybe they're drawing the player's blood. That would be intense, though. Very intense.
Um, that's surprising. I mean, in the past, it's always been urine testing.
Okay, well, don't get caught peeping, Rachel. Because no one wants to talk about it in the interviews. So then Rachel's like, I'm gonna like do some investigative journalism.
As far as I understand, the reason for the drug testing is because FIDE has long wanted chess to be an Olympic sport, and
Yeah.
drug testing is a requirement.
Which is so sad because it's like they're never going to get accepted, right? But they're going to spend like 30 years chasing the IOC that doesn't want them, but that like sort of leads them on a little, maybe, or
Right.
maybe doesn't at all, but they don't get the hint.
Yeah, it's a very famous story of Chucky refusing a drug test angrily because they asked him after he had lost like a key game in the Olympiad of all places. Like he just loses the big game in Olympiad, and then
Yeah.
thankless official comes up to him and is like, "Hey, you got to go pee in a cup."
Yeah, Dresden Olympiad. Everyone was Dresden having to be the one to tell Ivanchuk to go pee in a cup, and they were right to have Dresden it because he refused. And then they were going to forfeit him, right?
Oh, really? Yeah, I remember there was some
Yeah,
controversy. Yeah.
I think they were going to forfeit him, and then finally people were like, "It's Ivanchuk, you can't forfeit him," and they're like, "Okay."
And he.
And that's when different treatment for different players comes, and you get questions about, you know.
Yeah, I mean he lost the game too.
Yeah.
So instead of losing the game, they give him a 0F.
What more do you want? There you
Yeah.
go.
I think actually it'd be a success because if the game is a forfeit, then he doesn't lose rating points for losing the game.
Oh, right. So he should like quickly find somebody who has drugs on them and have them like steal some of their urine and get his rating points back.
Oh, let me check audio. 1 second.
Oh, Matt, Eagle, and Far Eastern.
Thank you, folks. Should be good now. Yeah, with the Mac, I do this like Mac OS audio capture, and then sometimes it just stops. Then I have to refresh. But
I'm sorry.
it's
I'm
good now.
sorry.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Macs are just rough.
No. I've only had a positive experience.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
D5. Demchenko tries to resolve things with a forcing variation,
Right.
and they're blitzing some moves now.
So knight a5. Well, either black's winning or not, I would say.
Yep.
But I think I see the problem, right? Rook a5, bishop e1.
Oh, I thought it was just bishop f2, but maybe there's multiples. I'll put yours on my
Bishop
board
h2.
first.
Yeah.
Bishop e1, bishop f2, bishop h2. It looks like 3 moves that simply end the game.
Oh boy. So
Here's a pretty
D5
variation,
might
Kostya.
have been
This
end.
is the prettiest one I see so far. Bishop h2,
Mm-hmm.
rook a7 check. Got to be careful with your king, right?
Yeah.
So where do you go?
I was just looking at bishop c7, but I don't think it works. King, I guess I'll go to h8.
Yeah, king h8. Now, there's one last trick for white here that I see, right? Rook d to d7.
Nice. And now I'll play my bishop c7.
And now Kostya had the idea already. Bishop c7. That's the best I can see here.
Vidit omnis vidit. Let's go. Take revenge for Shanky. Okay, rook a5 on the board. The bishop h2, that, I mean, that seems like the easiest.
There's not a lot to calculate, right? Bishop f2 and bishop e1, you have to like double check. Knight f3, rook h5, knight f3, rook h5.
Yeah, knight
Then the knight
h2
comes
back.
back
Yeah.
to h2. I guess if your bishop's on f2, then you'd have rook g1. That's not bad. Vidit took on h2 because he
Yeah.
sees everything.
Just simple. One win is enough. Yeah.
Yeah. At least, in positions with three pieces and mate in three on the board, he sees everything. At least that much.
Nice.
Oh, man. So d5, just straight up losing. Demchenko went.
Looks like it's straight losing, but I'm not sure we even suggested a different move for white. It looks so hard.
Yeah, we'd suggested nothing after f5, right? It was
Just very hard to find a move.
there's a move from black.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Yeah. Wow.
Uh,
That's probably it. Okay, rook d7 playing. Probably I think he's gonna allow bishop c7.
yeah, I think so. So that's beautiful.
Let's see. And see, look, I love Vidit. He's pausing. He's already seen the full win, but he's pausing. This is the one thing I mentioned on Andy Woodward's game, because he was kind of like blitzing out the last couple moves. And I was like, oh, it's fine. It's totally winning. Like, no problem. But I just think it's just a good habit to just always take a second when you're winning. Just like double check.
Yeah.
All right,
I
rook
had the
a3.
wrong idea on this when I was a kid, Kostya. I would do the same thing as, I guess, Woodward, which is I would calculate some long variation, and then I would start playing the win, right? And I would just blitz every single move.
Yeah.
And my point was to let my opponent know how remarkably, oppressively good I was, so they wouldn't have any hope the next time we got paired together, right?
Okay.
Like, I want them to know, like, I calculated 13 moves ahead. You can calculate 4 moves ahead. So, like, why even show up for our next game?
Interesting. So it's not just like ego thing. By the way, rook h5 I'm calling here. I think rook h5 is the move. Not just an ego, not an ego thing, but like more of a see you next time thing.
Oh, yeah. Like, every game I'm playing, I'm not just trying to beat you. I'm trying to beat you forever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. We've got a relationship,
That's it.
and I'm establishing our relationship for now and ever.
Yeah. I mean,
And now I would always do what you're recommending with Vidit. I would always double check, and I found it's much more disheartening to any like high level opponent to know that you double check. They'll feel even more intimidated for the future than by knowing that you think you're a genius and you think you saw ahead really far. Because they know that no matter how much of a genius you are, like a grandmaster, right? Like, this worked maybe when I was 1600 playing other 1600s. Very depressing for them. But once you're like an IM playing other IMs or GMs, they know that you're human. They know that even if you calculated like a G today, one of these days you're missing something. So the fact that you blitz gives them heart to never resign against you. The point of the whole thing is to intimidate them. What's actually more intimidating is an opponent who double checks, like Kostya says. They're like, I've got 7 minutes and I've got mate in 2, so I don't need to save a lot of time for later.
You feel like they're just like not gonna make a mistake. They're just like whatever move they have to find, they're just gonna sit there and find it.
Yeah.
And you kind of feel hopeless in a sense. I think it's a good strategy to take your time when you're winning, because it's like I've had many cases where I'm just completely losing against a grandmaster. I would probably win it from the other side, and they're still just like taking their time and just being super patient and just not giving an inch.
Yeah.
And then you lose hope. You're just like, okay, they're not going to blunder anything. They're being extremely careful. That's it.
Yeah. And when I switched from this attempt at asserting dominance to just like the actual, what I think currently is the more, practical, just, using your resources and, just staying in the moment of playing, then I found my opponents just started like resigning by surprise against me. Like when I didn't think they were going to resign yet. They would just like resign. Like they couldn't stand sitting there in the horrible position that I was enjoying, and seeing me, enjoying it, and seeing me still be in flow, right? So it's like, what's gonna happen?
Yeah, Blood Queen, I get that. Though, for me, I always take time on mate in one because it's so there's little things more embarrassing than making a move, pausing the clock, and it's not the end of the game.
You don't want to pause the clock.
Actually, I stopped pausing the clock on mate in one. I just hit the clock, and I hope my opponent resigns. That happened. Apparently, my friend Zach, the chess nerd, he said recently he had like his second time putting mate on the board, pausing the clock, and it wasn't mate.
Wow, twice. It's only happened to me once in my career.
Oh man.
But I did do it once. I played queen d1, said checkmate, and then my opponent took his knight on c3 and took my queen.
Oh no.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to pause the clock. What I mean, you're not supposed to or not supposed to. Like if checkmate's on the board, game's over. You can pause the clock. I guess it's kind of a claim. I claim checkmate.
I claim checkmate.
Because if let's say the opponent didn't agree, it's like it's not checkmate. Well, you got to go to the arbiter.
I invoke checkmate.
I think most players pause the clock because it's like they're very confident, that it's mate.
Yeah.
Yeah. But lately, what I'll do is I'll either make the move on the board and then not even touch the clock, so just let my time run out. Or if my time is like, I'm on 30-second increment or whatever, then I'll just hit the clock. And
yeah. Knowing from this conversation what torments Blood Queen the most, right? I'm losing to someone who can't find mate in one. What you would do against her is you would write down a move on your score sheet that's not mate in one, think about it for a while, cross it out, write down some other moves,
really
cross it out, look really nervous, sweating bullets, check your clock, it's like just put in hell of work on the position, it's the biggest effort of your life, sigh like Jesse.
Right.
I
think that can work in terms of your strategy, in the sense that if your opponent thinks you're an absolute moron, right?
Yeah.
And the next time they play you, they're also not going to take you seriously. So,
right.
Better chances.
Yeah.
Far Eastern, I would say that this kind of thing can happen. It's very rare, in classical, but in Blitz, it happens to me every once in a while where I'm like, oh, that's mate, and then the game didn't end. I'm like, oh. Mm-hmm. Usually you just miss that the king has a square. You just kind of, you just blank. You've covered 7 squares around the king. It looks like mate, but there's an 8th square the king can go to.
8th square. Kostya knows the number of squares.
Very unlucky.
Covered 7 squares.
Just on the Vincent endgame.
Okay. Yeah. There's also one game with pieces left, at least. Mendonca versus Bogdan Deaj. And there's a queen and rook endgame between Celeste Alem and Sindarov. That could be intense as well. Oh, another queen and rook ending.
Wow, Mendonca is 51 minutes versus 90 seconds, and it's move 73. Yeah. And there's a bunch of pieces on the board. It's wild. There was some maneuvering in this one. Oh, Jesse tweeted about our podcast.
Oh yeah, what did he say?
He says Hikaru knew about the rule change. In March 2024, FIDE, concerned about deflation, made it so that anything above a 400-point difference is treated as a 400-point difference. So Hikaru beating a 24 is the same amount of points as him beating a 14.
He did some ChatGPT research this morning, Kostya, and found out that if you win against a 1400, it's rated as if you beat a 2400.
Well, he discovered that during the podcast, right?
Yeah, partially, but this morning he confirmed it with some further ChatGPT research, and he was like, nobody knows about this, but somehow Pruess had heard of it, and I'm like, everyone except Jesse had noticed this.
That's funny.
But he thinks it's like news. So
It's it's like when Trump is like, "Oh, I just heard this new thing."
yeah,
Just
yes,
told him.
he always thinks he's the first person to have thought of something. Yeah, that's true. Oh man.
Funny. Um, who
Okay,
would
so
you
you're
like
on
to
you're on
watch?
Kamer, right?
I thought, yeah, I like that end game. Looks very interesting. Because I'm very curious if White will be able to win it, because he's making a lot of now. It makes me feel like White is winning it just with how much progress he's made.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the A pawn's getting really close. I can't help but look at Rook H4 to G4. Um, but I don't know, Queen
Ooh,
A8, Queen B7
that's pretty nasty.
might be a perpetual, so I'm scared to move my rook away.
Oh no, I didn't. I didn't tell David, but Rachel said she interviewed Nico Theodoro and told him about our show, and he was like, "Of course, the No Engine Chess Dojo stream."
Right.
He's a fan.
Awesome. He really made Jesse nervous by going on D8 twice, D7 twice,
Yeah.
E8 twice, etc. Right? That was a lot for Jesse's nerves, but he pulled it off.
No, it was very, very precise.
He beat the world champion. He's collecting like the top 10 players in the world. Theodoro is. Honestly, he's got a lot of them now on his shelf or his
Oh,
mantle.
Gukesh called the arbiter, so he tried to claim.
I thought there was a little like pause there
Oh,
in the relay. Gukesh thought it was threefold. Oh man. But Nicholas knew what he was doing.
I think Nico knew. Yeah, I think he was very aware that he was basically like it was basically right on the edge. It was like half a move away, essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Oh, that's rough for Gukesh. He thought he might be
Yeah.
saving it.
Yeah, emotionally that's rough. Well, you know what Gukesh thought of his position if he tried to claim a threefold, Kostya?
Yeah.
Because he's never done that before. And he has no experience with claiming threefold repetition because it's probably the first time he's ever had a position bad enough where he tried to claim it.
Right. There was a game in like one of the Grand Chess Tour Rapid events where it was like Vidit against um, either Gukesh or Arjun. It was like two Indian players, um, and they repeated the position 12 times back and forth. Um, Neither player deviating,
Yeah,
both players using their full 10-second increment to try to find a way out of the
out of
repetition.
it each time. Yeah.
And neither player going because it's such a cool situation where I think Vidit was having like a terrible tournament, so he was in bad form.
Uh-huh.
But his position was better, so
Uh-huh.
he didn't want to repeat. But then his opponent also didn't want to claim because he wanted like Vidit to play on and lose. It was like,
Uh-huh.
and then after
Yeah.
12 times, one of the arbiters finally came in and was like, guys, it's too much. So yeah, they don't teach how to repeat moves in India. They just don't show the kids how to do it.
That's rough, Far Eastern. Yeah, that's rough. But I think impressively, Gukesh can handle it. I would be upset. I'd be out there like responding to every message. Kosti knows this. I'd be like on those message boards, like responding to every message. Like, please, I am Gukesh and I am just doing my best. Like, I love chess. Why are you hating me?
So funny. Oh, who are the players? It's definitely Vidit. I think Vidit was one of them. And then the second player, it was either Gukesh or Prague. I think it was one of the juniors. I'll try to find it because yeah, it was like just back and forth. My favorite thing was that it wasn't like they just nervously repeated back and forth without it was like both players were like spending their full 10-second increment each time
Right.
repeating, spending the 10 seconds repeating. Just going for it.
Excellent fighters. Excellent fighters.
Yeah, the arbiters had to pull them off of each other. There is a rule on arbiters. They're allowed to step in after a 5-time repetition. But I
Oh,
think
there's
because
a
it
rule
was
on that?
a rapid event, there's a lot going on, so they didn't notice.
Wow. How do you know that rule, Kostya? Are you studying to be an arbiter? Are you thinking of maybe a little career expansion?
I think you learn all these rules when you watch a bunch of like World Rapid and Blitz championships because these things tend to come up there, like the
Oh, that's
five-fold,
where it's a little more Wild Westy.
yeah, like 75 move rule.
Hmm.
Absolutely.
Okay. So I was going to say, maybe only an aspiring arbiter would be aware of that rule. Doing a little studying on the weekends.
Yeah, the Bachman Whaley game, of course, that is an amazing classic. Easily the best draw of all time.
So far, Eastern, you're saying the arbiter can't walk up to the board, put their finger on somebody's score sheet, and then count if there have been 5 repetitions. They have to actually have been there.
Well, definitely not in a rapid game. But I mean, no, it's a Grand Chess Tour, so of course they had the DGT. So don't really know what happened.
Yeah. Blood Queen knows being an arbiter is a punishment. All right, don't check on the 5th rank, Hanesian.
Yeah. Oh, great question from Pooh Bear. So if you have two knights and they're in a different position, I think so that would still count for a draw.
Really? That question actually causes my mind to explode.
I mean, it'd be
Like, what is the answer?
it is you. There is an argument there because okay, so for everyone that doesn't know, if you the position has to be the exact same. So it's not about repeating the moves, it's about repeating the position. And if you repeat a position 3 times, but in one of those positions castling was available and then in the other two are not, or in one of those positions en passant was available and the other two are not, then that's not a 3-time repetition.
Mhm.
So there is this rule about the position has to be the exact same. I think the en passant thing I think there was a case with en passant where on the first move of the repetition, en passant was possible and then it wasn't. So like wasn't a repetition. Um, but if the knight switch, I feel like I would love to see someone make that argument. Like, excuse me, this
Yeah.
is the queenside knight and this
Yeah. My queenside knight has an entirely different personality than my kingside knight. Please stop being
it's a completely different
speciest.
horse.
Please stop being speciest here. My queen's knight does not appreciate it.
One's a mare, this one's a purebred. They've never looked alike.
Yeah. You're like, I can't tell which one is which. Don't you dare say that. They're listening.
And no, you could absolutely prove that which knight is which.
Yeah.
Interesting.
You went to make dinner. Did you miss something good? Another upset of the world champion.
Yeah, Nico
I don't know if that's
Theodoro.
good or bad, but it's dramatic.
He converted very nicely.
Okay, you saw that. What else? Vidit. You probably missed Vidit. He recently won his game against Donchenko. There haven't been a lot of wins on the top 10, 12 boards today. So Vidit, the defending champion of this tournament, he won the last Grand Swiss in 2023, making a move today. Wins an endgame with black by a checkmate. It's pretty good.
Robin. So funny. What does he do for the rooks though?
He plants a little flag. He brings a little homemade flag and puts it on one of them.
Mark's one. This is the queenside rook. Okay, David, just as a fun thought experiment, can you
Hmm.
guess which one of Vincent's rooks is the kingside rook and which one's the queenside rook?
Yeah, from that yellowish tinge, I think that one in front is the king's rook
That's the king's rook? Why do you say that?
on c6. This there's just a little bit of a yellow aura around it.
Okay. All right, let
And
me check.
I also don't see a way for him to prevent a6 here. Uh,
Ooh, yeah, that's
so
bad.
that's more progress, right? I mean, getting really close. And I'm not sure why he brought his king from h6 to h5. That seems to take away like a quarter of his checks. So I
Okay,
really
guys,
don't know about that.
keep an eye on the rook on e4. It's the rook on e4 we're tracking.
Yeah,
Rook on e4.
it's going to end up on c6.
Rook e1. Rook a1. It was the queenside rook.
What do you mean it was the queenside rook?
I'm just going to go from the start. Yes, okay. So the rook on a1. Watch the rook on a1, guys. Rook on a1. Now it's on e1. e4. e4.
Oh, shoot.
b4. Yeah, it's out in front.
Unreal.
That's the queen's rook.
Ugh.
I
That's
thought I
why I never made
recognized.
GM. That's why
It's
I never
haircut.
made GM. Shameful. But everybody's got their weaknesses, I guess.
Yeah, upside down rook. Technically is a rook.
Tell me honestly, Kostya, you knew which one it was the whole time?
No, I had no idea.
No? Okay.
Yeah. And I don't think I could guess. I think there'd be no way. Okay. Um, what is black doing here? Wait, queen b7 check?
King a4.
King a4.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is looking over. Oh.
Yeah, if somebody doesn't want to let a kid in a tournament use an upside down rook as their queen, that's silly. Nowadays tournament sets by and large have a second queen. So it doesn't come up too much. It's usually just sitting there next to the board.
I'm gonna stand up for a sec, David.
Oh yeah. Sure,
See you.
thanks.
See you shortly.
Folks, I'm starting to feel like there's a very good chance that Vincent wins this two rooks versus queen endgame. Black has retracted the move king h5, which I think hurt black quite a bit, but that a pawn is so close now. And the black king's always going to be on some kind of rank. You know, there will be tricks with h5 that come in. It's slightly intricate, this endgame, but of course, every time you can move the pawn as white, you should. That, I would say, is pretty much basic. Anytime you can move that pawn without allowing perpetual check, that's like what you're fighting for, you know, and it could take 30 moves of work to get the pawn one step closer. So you always go for it. It's like capturing a hanging piece. You just got to do it. So there it is. We get a6 played. Oh yeah, Kostya's board won't update, but Vincent has played a4, a5 to a6. Queen F5. So against King A4, there will be two possible moves for black, Queen B1 and Queen D7. But against King B6, yeah, maybe here you can go forward with King B6, actually. Hey, Matt. Yeah, oh, sorry, I don't know if folks can see the position, huh? Yeah. So, yeah, A6 was played, and then black played Queen F5 check. Oh, but queen endings are like a mess, especially when you all can't see the board. So maybe we'll just chit chat. We'll take a little break, although I believe in talking about chess, obviously. Take a little break. Anybody have something going on in their life that they want some dojo counseling on? Doesn't have to be a tournament you're preparing for. It doesn't have to be how do I get better at chess. Um, maybe you want to know how to get your wife back after she left you, or whether or not to buy your kid a pony for their birthday. Just just hit us with your questions and we'll see if we can't help you a little bit. Unfortunately, I don't know much about desk chairs. Somebody here is gonna be an expert on it though. This chair I have is fine, but I don't know what it's called. I got it secondhand. TTT office, titled Tuesday tournament office. What's the TTT? I hope I said the right number of T's. What's the TTT office? Somebody in chat, can you recommend a nice desk chair for Boss Tweed? Oh, TTTT, take. Would that office be in Norway? Is Bortnick in Norway now? But if you know the mark, Robin, or the brand, the make. Okay, office in Oslo. Folks, you can't see this, but Vincent is down to 40 seconds, so he's used all his time. He's used all his time after Queen F5 check from black. And then plays a mildly surprising move here in Rook 6 to C5, which you can't see. The Dojo Club Blitz Tournament. Dojo Club Blitz Tournament. I don't know the Dojo Club Blitz Tournament. Let's see if I can find it. Yeah, let me have a look. Oh, the club thing coming up? So I think to play in that, Robin, you would just have to join this chess.com club, which is very cheap to join, completely free. And then they're going to have tournaments once a week where, we can all play as a team. Maybe all our points get added together, or maybe our top 4 scores or 10 scores or something. I don't know the exact details, but either way, we're all on the team together. Nice. I see the picture now. That's great. Yeah, it does sound fun, right? We'll all play together. So we've got a deep question here from Clutch. The chess question here. Clutch has compiled a bunch of master games in the openings they play, right? Which is a thing that we do in the dojo, right? Is we make some we find some model games by good players in the openings we play. And the question is how to analyze them best to get the most out of them. Normally, we don't say you have to analyze them. You just have to have like played through them so you can sort of see the plans or the ideas. I don't think you need to analyze them deeply. It's just to get a feel. So I would say probably don't do any extra analysis on them. Maximize your chess education by skipping that step. Take it easy. Just play through the games, get a taste, get a feel, and then keep going. Okay. You want to get cracked at rook endgames. So I guess cracked, first I have to understand, cracked is probably some new word like ripped, right? Like full of muscles. You want to get cracked at rook endgames. See, normally I would think cracked at rook endgames would be like an egg, like you want to get bad at rook endgames, but I assume you want to get good at them. So cracked means get good. Well, I'm saying don't even focus on anything, Clutch. Just play through the games once or twice and leave it at that. Get really good at rook endings in 2 weeks. Let me ask you one clarifying question, Zoom Kerchu. Would you like to get good at things like rook and pawn against rook, like the very technical stuff at the end? Like king is cut off by 1 file, king is cut off by 2 files, rook on the long side, um, rook and c and a pawns against rook. Do you want to get good at some of those like really technical positions with just 1 or 2 pawns on the board, or generally with just 1 pawn on the board? Or do you want to get good at like the sort of like feeling of playing with many pawns on the board, where to put your rook, when to bring out your king, like how to set up your pawns, or when to make a trade, when to defend? Because those are almost like 2 different fields, both within rook endings. And I wonder if you want to get better at both, or if there's one in particular you want to do. Robin, nothing beats just sparring those positions yourself, right? So, I think what I've recommended to like Blood Queen and some other people is like just take the position, play it against somebody in your cohort, right? And then watch the full episode once you've played the end game out yourself. Okay, so yeah, you're not focused on the Lucen and Philidor kind of stuff, but the feeling of how to play them. Then I think let me grab this for you. I think then you want this Agard book, right? Let's see. I guess Korchnoi also wrote a book on this. Okay, Agard called it conceptual rook endgames. So I would recommend to you one of two books, Zoom Virtue. Either the recent and modern conceptual rook endgames by Agard. I mean, it's really like good, but it's spelled with four A's.
Oh,
So that
good.
so um, or this old Korchnoi book, Practical Rook Endgames. I would say try and find one of those two books and study that.
Oh, sorry. Did we lose a live position?
Yeah, that's how those boards work. They don't.
Oh, my bad guy. I think
It's
I,
okay.
that was on me. It was on the live position. It's just like an OBS thing where sometimes it doesn't update if the window's not active. I apologize, folks.
Yeah.
For this, I apologize.
He makes an official apology. It's registered.
No, I apologize for the other stuff too. I want us all to be friends, really. I mean, none of it is so serious. I'll say I took a quick break and my heart was broken twice.
Oh no.
First because I saw the footage of Gukesh at the end of his game today,
Oh.
resigning and stuff, and
Hmm.
very sad Gukesh.
Yeah.
Definitely tears in his eyes. Um, and then I also saw such a lovely post from Prague where he talks about learning and looking up to Boris Gelfand when he was a 6-year-old, and and then of course getting to play him over the board. So
Oh,
he wrote a very touching post of admiration for Gelfand.
that's so sweet,
Yeah.
Kostya.
So
Hmm. So even when you were off your computer, you were actually still on a computer.
I was on my phone.
Yeah. Well, phones now are like small computers, right?
It was actually my first time, checking Twitter all day, basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, this Jesse tweet about Naka is very funny because he starts the tweet with like Naka knew about the rule change, but Jesse was also saying like, oh, no one knows about this.
Exactly. That's the implication. That's why I told you that. Like, that's why I gave you the background. Like, we had a conversation this morning, and he really thinks nobody knew.
Oh, it's so funny.
Yeah. That means Prague was looking at Gelfand games at age 6. Yeah, I guess so, Scotty. So one conclusion is he was studying in a very mature way at a very young age. So I can tell you most 6-year-olds don't study anything methodically. Like they play tag or hide and seek. You can look at Boris if you want, Houseline, but it won't be your model. So you could also conserve your time in your current quest of, you know, of this week. But you can definitely look at his games at some point. They're classics, but it won't be a match for you personally.
Yeah, if I understood the post correctly, I think Prague was 6 at the time of the World Championship match with Gelfand and Anand. So that was probably the first time he saw Gelfand. I think that kind of tracks because that was like 2012, 13 years ago. Prague 6. Prague's like 19-ish right now.
Hmm.
So around then.
Yeah.
And of course, yes, as Clutch is saying, Gelfin and Kramnik uh, did maybe multiple training camps with the Indian juniors and developed a relationship with a lot of them. So,
That's so
yeah.
sweet. Those kids are such like poised teenagers now, but they were such cute kids before as well, you know? I mean, man, they're just great.
That was always my theory on Arjun is like the reason that he got slightly less like respect and hype was because he's just like a little bit older and a little bit less cute than Prague and Gukesh.
Exactly. He was like 2 years older than them at a lot of these milestones.
Hmm.
Probably because he started chess a little bit later. I don't think it was because like he had less talent or something, but I'm just guessing. But
Hmm.
when I started following him, he looked very, very talented to me. But he was maybe like a 14-year-old 2500 instead of a 12-year-old 2500 when I started watching Arjun. And yeah, so maybe, he at 14 was not as cute as Prague at 12 or whatever, and so he got a little less hype.
Yeah, I feel like that was part of it because like Prague and Gukesh being and Nihal being cute is kind of it's part of their little it's part of their charm because they're also like 20
Yeah,
500 artists little demons at the
little
chessboard.
demons. Looks like the pawn's coming at least to A7, Kostya. I don't see a way to prevent one more step
This got to be a
that
very
pawn.
enjoyable game for white to play and just a nightmare for black because he's
Mm,
just been inching up the board methodically
right.
and black just slow like a tug of war where just losing inch by inch.
Hmm. But the final question is if with a pawn on A7 and a king on A8, there's not just, perpetuals, basically.
Yes, that is kind of key for this position, isn't it?
Yeah.
But with the H pawns, it like the king side, it seems like white has great chances here because you have ideas like rook c5 and h5 kind of thing,
Hmm.
and so
Yeah.
yeah, I would think this is totally winning now for white,
Okay.
just
I would still
mathematically.
push A7 more or less thoughtlessly because like every step forward is a big deal.
Yeah,
And if black wants me to check me out of there, I think my king will be decent coming out to B7 and A6 probably. So, um, yeah, I'd play A7 and then we'll see.
yeah. I'll just go a7 here as well.
What age do you recommend OTB tournaments? Whenever the kid asks for it, let them know it exists, and then when they ask, they can go. You would start with kids tournaments if we're talking like 5 or 6 year old kids. But
Yeah.
there's like scholastic quads that are super chill, right? Like game 30 or whatever, 3 rounds in one morning, and against other kids, and one person or two people get a trophy, maybe a medal for third
Well,
place.
well, in the after school classes, we always run little mini tournaments to get the kids ready because like the biggest thing is that the kid just needs to be ready maturity wise to be in a tournament.
Yeah.
I would say that's by far like the kid can be terrible, but as long as they know that they're gonna lose some games and they're still going into it, like that's great. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's the kids that because I actually have been an arbiter at some of these kids events and
Uh,
it's really sad because they are not used to losing and it's like sometimes they don't even have a grasp on the rules, right? And so
mhm.
then that's on like the parents and the coaches for like pushing the kid in too early.
Yeah, they should know the rules and maybe like some concept of they don't have to be silent like in an adult tournament, but some concept of not like screaming in the tournament room, like something approaching volume control. And then to be prepared to lose a game, but yeah.
Absolutely. So I would definitely yeah, definitely suggest doing like after school programs or that kind of thing first so that they can get practice playing with a clock and notation and then by the time they get to the tournament then they're more or less like much closer to the experience. The other thing that's like, I should mention is that I don't know how it works in other countries, but in the U.S., or at least where I did my like scholastic chess and stuff, the arbiters aren't allowed to like help the kids. So if there's stalemate on the board and the two kids say that it's checkmate, right? And if some kid says, "Oh, I win because I took your king," and the other kid agrees, it's 1-0. So um, it's really important that kids have confidence in the game and how it works. And it's one of those things where if the kid asks if the kid is like, if the kid defends in any way or like goes to the arbiter, then of course the arbiter can help. But like if the kids shake hands and agree that someone won, someone lost, that's it. You can't do anything about that.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Do you want to check the other boards too?
Sure, yeah,
Or do you
Dayak.
want to try and calculate whether A7 is the end?
I have faith in Vincent. I'm sure he'll get
Mm-hmm.
it done. Let's
Okay.
just take a look at Mendonca Dayak.
Okay. Sounds good to me.
Endgame City.
We've got a knight invasion on C1.
Yeah,
Looks like Mendonca is going to be up a pawn after that one.
right. And he doesn't have to take right away, so he's kind of thinking. I think he's thinking about like other moves, like Bishop F4.
Mm-hmm.
Also, Dayak's been in time trouble for like 3 hours. Oh boy.
Yeah, I think he's thinking about Bishop E3, actually. I think that might be winning.
Bishop E3, yeah, definitely. Big counter move right now. G6 played.
Wow, going for the outside passer.
And then looking for this transition to the knight endgame, probably.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And if white doesn't take, he could take on H5 and go knight D3, knight F4. And if white does take, then he's already got, G6, H5 coming.
But if black takes on E3, isn't the knight a little funny on D3? Like, how do you get out?
Oh, why was I playing bishop takes E3 and then taking?
Yeah, I just mean like that's a little tricky still, right?
I thought I'd go back to C1.
Mm-hmm.
And then if I get chased by the white king, I would go knight A2, knight C3.
Oh, knight A2. Thank you. Okay, yeah, I
And
didn't
either
see
way, I thought
where you're
white's knight
going.
on D2 would end up just sitting there defending either B3 or E4. And the reason I wanted to trade on E3 was I thought my king would walk to G4 then.
Yeah. No, it looks totally winning. Just classic, like dominant knight, good king.
I'm really surprised by king G6. Like, G6 was already a surprise, but I was like, okay, if he wants to play FG and H5, I get it.
Right.
But king G6,
I guess
I
he's winning
don't.
the G pawn either way.
Yeah, but then why trade your G pawn for white's H pawn, right? I mean, if you're gonna
Well,
play
to
bishop
to
E3,
to
king
make the
G5 at
passer,
some
to
point.
make the passer.
But I was gonna take all the pawns, right? Okay.
Maybe.
So
No,
now
I mean, I
white's
don't
king
know.
comes up and defends the G pawn.
Um, but it still looks like he can take on E3 and go King G5.
Mm-hmm.
Just like White's knight on D2 is just so bad that
But let's say now I recapture with my king,
yeah.
which is no longer on E1.
So King
And then when we
G5,
play king G5, I play F3.
F3.
Then you still have work to do.
Yeah, I guess I have to go F5 somehow, and
Maybe you have to
then
go F5. And
so yeah, I don't really understand then. Why not FG?
yeah, I feel like my version was like almost two full pawns better.
So yeah, number one, he can go FG and then H5, so he's guaranteeing outside pass pawn, which should be very strong. And then secondly, he could just take on E3 and go King G5. This to me, yeah, is just like really obvious question. Rachel, find Luke, Leon Mendonk. Ask him about his technique on move 96.
Right.
He had 30, I mean, he has 40 minutes on the clock, so it's not like a time pressure thing.
You can tell him you once played a very fine technical game in Spain against Kostya Kavutskiy. Like totally beautiful game, and what was going on with your technique today?
Me and Leon, we're friends now.
I know he made a really good impression on you in that game. I didn't bring this up to like troll you or something, like
No, I know.
I just thought it'd be like cool if Rachel had, some random angle.
No, you didn't say anything wrong. He did win. Very nice
Okay.
technical game, and I was
Yeah.
incredibly impressed by him and his analysis.
Yeah.
And then,
But you've talked to him since?
yeah, it's funny. I ran into him in St. Louis. Just we were both
Okay.
on a walk, and he was playing a tournament here, and I
Nice.
said hi, and and congratulated him on winning. Because after beating me, he then won Wyconze. Just saying.
Yeah.
Um,
That was huge. That was huge.
and then I hung out with him a lot actually at the Granky Open, because he and I have a mutual friend in this dude Arnie who works for ChessBase. Does a lot of content for them,
Okay.
and so I was actually I hung out a bit with him, Arnie. I think Aryan Chopra was also there, another really strong Indian player.
Mhm.
And yeah, I got to talk to him for a bit. And super nice kid. He was playing the Freestyle Open, and he was doing amazing actually. He beat someone. He beat Nepo, I think,
Wow.
and like he crushed Nepo in freestyle. And so he was having like a great event. So he's really enjoying
Nice.
it.
Okay, so I mean I do still think he's winning, so maybe his way is great. Here one option is he could bring that knight to d4 right now, freezing the white king out of f3. But like a cool thing is his knight is making one knight defend b3. The other knight can't really move because the bishop takes d2. So he's got white pretty well contained.
Yeah. Okay, I guess King G5 is answered with Knight F3 check, and you have to go back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But yeah, I do think your way was easier, especially like I'm still struggling to understand how white doesn't just. Oh, okay. Bishop E3, Fe3. If King
Mm-hmm.
G5 there, then Knight F3 check. King takes G4, Knight takes E5 check. You stop calculating because it's messy, right?
Mm-hmm.
But he could
Mm-hmm.
take on D3 first with check,
Yeah.
bring his knight back, and then that just looks
Yes,
really
I
bad.
was going to take the pawn first
Yeah.
and then put the knight back on c1. And if the king chases me, I would go to c2 or whatever.
I guess maybe, okay, King D1, Knight A2. No, it looks bad. If Knight F3, trying to keep the king out, there's Knight C3 check, and Knight takes E4, and it's all
Mm-hmm.
collapsing. I don't know. My only explanation is that he just really wanted to just keep the tension here out of, like,
Yeah.
just kind of endgame instinct.
Yeah. So as long as the knight's on e3, we can't really go king g5 because of knight f3.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I try and play bishop f4, king g5 with all the pawns still on the board, there's still knight f3. Interesting. So g6. And honestly, g6, f, g, h5, I would have totally understood as well. That looks super good as well. But this king g6, yeah, I don't fully understand. Okay, he's bringing the knight towards d4, it looks like.
Now, if Luke has anything that I would dare to criticize about his play, which maybe we saw here, is that to me, he maybe has a tendency to get like overconfident.
Hmm.
Because we were talking about that thing about how like really strong grandmasters, they always like take their time, even just like completely winning positions.
Yeah.
I feel like, some like a more experienced GM here would be like taking their time, and it feels like the technique would be smoother somehow. Not that he's not still winning; he probably is completely.
Uh-huh. Okay, here's a suggestion in the current position. Bishop e3,
Yeah.
fe, knight c2, knight f1, f5. My goal is to flank the white king with my king towards the center now and
Yeah.
abandon my h-pawn. Now,
Seems
white
good.
doesn't have to trade and go along with that, but if they don't trade, they'll have to figure out how they're defending against fe and how they're defending against f4.
But also, white's in a bit of a zugzwang because anything you move, you allow black to just, like, you move your king, I go king g5, you know?
Yeah.
If I want to just follow. Because, yeah, it looks totally winning if white, let's say, trades twice. I think that's just resignable, basically. King just walks in.
Yeah. And the knight on f1 seems pretty unfortunate.
Okay, knight.
Like
Knight
unhappy there.
g3 check, but still, I still think it's over. Like e4, knight d4, for example, and then b3 falls. I guess you can go back, knight f1, but black has still achieved a lot, right, with the outside pass pawn. So this should be winning. Feels like he was more winning earlier.
Yeah.
And now he's kind of spending time, right? So, I don't know. Just felt like he took this decision kind of quickly. G6, king takes g6.
Okay, if you think that it's sort of Zugzwang, could we also go bishop e3, fe3, knight c2, knight f1, f6? How Zugzwang is white?
Let's say king h3.
Okay, king h3 makes sense. King g5.
5. King g3.
f5.
5. Let's just let's trade gf, ef. And I don't really see the purpose of king f3, right? Black just goes h5. So let's say I take, king takes, king f3.
Yeah.
Yeah, h5 is definitely a move here. And it looks like should be good. H5.
Okay, I'm thinking knight a1 here.
Knight. Which one?
Knight a1.
Knight a1, knight d2.
And now h5.
No, h5, so there's no knight g3 check.
Exactly.
But knight kind of holds the king, so king g3.
And then I go knight c2.
c2.
So I just try and move you back and forth each time. But maybe now there's e4.
But e4, king g5.
Right, so now I'm trying to get into the f4 square.
Yeah.
You can push me with knight f3, king f6. You pushed me back pretty good, right? And then knight back to d2. Because you don't want me to hit knight d4 at the wrong time. Datch has resigned, chat says.
Okay, shows how much we understand. King f6. Oh, maybe he blundered though. King h5, bishop g5. Ooh. He got welcome to the dojo.
Wow. So he walked into knight e2, f4 mate.
He really walked into that one, yeah.
That's odd. Did he think he was on the attack there with king h5?
Well,
how bad was it if he just kept sitting?
I think, I mean, I don't think king f6, king h3 changes a ton about what we were looking at.
Yeah.
I think he is just under pressure for a very long time and finally cracked. Yeah. But it is a strange move because it's like, you don't really have a follow up as white. But he must have just blundered bishop g5, just completely like blanked.
Yeah.
Because he only spent like 10 seconds on king h5, it seems.
Yeah.
With 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes. So just a blunder.
Right. But this reminds us what some of the other players are doing in the games that we're watching, right? They're not cracking. They're playing 7 hours, right? Like Erdomus yesterday in that queen endgame. He had like 100 opportunities to crack.
Mm-hmm.
In the sense that he played another 100 moves after he'd already played, 90 moves and been in an endgame for 7 hours. He played another 100 moves.
Yeah, like he sparred like 3 different endgames yesterday against Notre Dame.
Yeah.
And he held all 3. I mean, wild.
Yeah. And basically every move you don't crack is another crazy accomplishment.
Yeah. Which is actually, I think, a good way for people to approach it, because I used to feel really badly when I was defending some position. But then I decided that, defending bad position, like, it's a skill in and of itself, and it's pretty rewarding, like saving a difficult position. Like, you feel like a really strong player. So there's a lot of reward to be gained. And saving a draw from a loss is just as good as snatching a win from a draw, like converting something. But a lot of times I think people feel better about winning from a draw than drawing from a loss.
Yeah. I think I never really appreciated that, honestly, Kostya, until we played a bunch of Endgame Sensei.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think all my life it was about winning games, and draws were meh. I could appreciate that sometimes great players played great draws together, but for me it was like not that exciting to draw a game. But then we would play those little, like, sometimes we'd play like a 2-game match in a position.
Yeah.
And then I understood, like, oh, if I can hold
Right.
the time where I've got the bad position, that's a really critical component to coming out ahead in a 2-game match.
Or just in the long run. Yeah, imagine you're
And
generally
then
holding it and winning it.
yeah. Yeah, and then you expand that to the long run. Let's say over like several tournaments, you're going to get, 6 end games, 3 bad, 3 good. Suddenly you're like, oh, wait, if I hold the 3 bad end games, like,
Yeah. That's a point.
I'm playing pretty well.
That.
Yeah.
I think it was like Yasser who was saying that he's had rook and bishop against rook 7 times or something, and he's maximized the points that he got each time.
Mm-hmm.
So basically he won it every time he had it, and he held it every time he had it. It's like, dang. But then, he made this very funny joke how Naka beat his record because Naka managed to win with the rook against rook and bishop.
No.
I think Magnus like flagged in some game, like some online game. It's just a silly joke. Okay, I've turned us on to 2 journeymen, Yuri Kuzubov against Ivan Saric.
Cool. Yeah.
Kuzubov, I've seen him play. He's a real fiend on the increment. He has no problem playing long endgames on 30 seconds.
Yeah. This guy was Karyakin's sparring partner as a kid, I think.
Yeah.
There were like 3 prodigies from the same chess club, and one of them may have been Lano.
Mm-hmm.
Was she a Ukrainian junior, Kostya?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
She may have married Grishuk and become Russian at some point.
I think she switched federations around the same time Karyakin did. I think she's got a similar background.
Okay. Yeah, so I think Kuzubov, Karyakin, and Lano were once like, 3 cute kids from the same chess club, and Kuzubov became a GM at some insanely young age as well.
Right.
But because Karyakin, quote unquote, got the record asterisk, people didn't think as much about Kuzubov's pace.
Yeah, he slowed
Normally,
down at some point.
normally these endgames end in checkmate, but here there's some hope that a pawn might queen.
Right. The Black King supporting. Karyakin got banned, say, for a little more. He was kind of very publicly supporting the war. Because I think there's a good number of people that privately support it and, of course, did not get in trouble. But Kraken got in trouble because he was being quite vicious online and basically just upsetting a lot of people. Like, I don't think FIDE like really cared until a bunch of people complained and like, said, how could you allow this guy to be candidate and all this stuff. And then FIDE kind of did something. So I think the real reason that he was banned is because people made complaints about it.
It was because he got complaints even, huh? Yeah. Do you think Sarge is winning this?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. How's his tournament going so far? Let's see. Sarich. Draw, loss, draw, draw, win. So he's on an equal score. He's played down every round so far.
Yeah.
Oh, he broke the same rating, same result rule, Kostya.
Oh, nice.
He shattered the pattern. He also played 2 of the 2591s in a row.
Funny.
Chess is full of exceptions. And then he played a 2590. But anyway, he's having a fine performance, 2.5 out of 5, slightly below his rating, but, all these guys are tough. So nothing disastrous about being at 2.5 out of 5. If he wins this game, he'll already be in good shape, though not necessarily qualifying. Well, he's not out of the running either. Anyone on a plus score after the first half is still in the running.
Yeah. Yeah, and then, so actually, very interesting time, right? We're going into basically the second half of the tournament. And tomorrow's rest day, folks, so no coverage.
Yeah.
We'll probably get some
But you know
sleep.
what is happening tomorrow, Kostya? The draft for coach champs.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Coach champs.
That's what I'll be doing tomorrow. So, folks, check out the chess.com stream tomorrow morning, if you could or would, at 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern in the U.S.
So how's that work? Can you give us some details?
So there's 4 rating groups and 8 coaches, and each of the 4 rating groups has 8 players. And so we'll sort of snake draft the players, one rating group at a time. So if you get the first pick in the first rating group, you get like the 8th pick in the second rating group. So each coach will end up drafting 4 players.
And is there something before the draft, like you watch them play, or?
No, they've given us access to their player profiles, so we're gonna pick them based on that now.
So you've already been studying?
I have not. I've been studying chess. I'm gonna have to study the player profiles today.
David.
What?
Yeah. You got 32 players to look at.
You're afraid I'm not gonna win this thing, Kostya?
No, I just, I want you to. I think you would have great chances if you put your full effort into it.
So you are afraid I'm not putting my full effort into it. Kostya, I'm gonna win this thing.
No, I'm not. Hold on. Don't misunderstand what I'm saying. This is the same criticism I gave some really strong player the other day, when Shanklin, when he blundered with 45 minutes on the clock. It's like, I don't know how hard or how easy that position was, but I know if he has 45 minutes and he moves quickly and it's a blunder, that's bad. So I know if you haven't looked at the players yet, and it starts tomorrow.
Yeah.
Because you got to get a good draft, 'cause that's where I think you might, because it's a short competition, right? It's not
very
that long.
short. The draft is going to be maybe as important as the coaching.
That's what I'm saying. Dude, you've done Ultimate Sensei. You have this experience.
Yeah. No, I've spent 10 years dreaming about this event, Kostya, and various versions of it. But they just sent out the player profiles like Sunday or something. They changed. Originally, they told us that we wouldn't get to see the profiles,
Oh,
and
what?
then they changed
That's
their mind on
weird.
that.
So originally, what would you even base it on?
Yeah, it wasn't really clear. By the way, I think there's a forced win here for black with King G7. Sorry, we'll get back to Coach Champs in 1 second.
Yeah, yeah. I
I
was
think I've
also like, what's
calculated
happening?
a forced win here. King G7. The rook is hanging twice, right? So the only move for white really is to trade queens and take on F5. Then black just plays G3.
Oh, wow.
The pawn's too far advanced, right? White can't go rook G5 check because of rook G6. So they have to go rook F1, G2, rook G1. Then black plays rook D2, pinning the B pawn, right? King B1, rook F2. The king just has to go back to A2 to avoid rook F1 with check. And then you just move your king somewhere like H8 or F8.
Oh, one sec. Sorry, sorry. The audio dropped
Okay.
right there. Okay, we're good now.
This will all happen in a couple minutes because Sarge has played King G7 and it's a very, very forced line. So Queen D6, Rook D6, Rook F5, G3. Rook G5 is of no avail because of Rook G6. So the rook has to go to F1, then you go G2, Rook G1, Rook D2. Freezing the B pawn. King B1, Rook F2, threatening Rook F1 check. Only move King back to A2, and then you can finish with a nice Zugzwang like King H8.
I thought we bring the king in.
You could do that too.
That
But
is really nice.
in the movies, the really cool people walk away from the explosion, right?
Yes. Oh, dang it. Rook H1 check.
Yeah. I would take and make like a knight or a bishop or something.
Which one? Bishop,
Probably a
probably.
bishop. Probably a bishop, to be honest.
Bishop, nice.
It'll mate much faster than a knight in that position.
Beautiful. We are going down that line. G3.
Yeah.
Wow. What a find. Mathematic.
Mm-hmm. 2 plus
Wait,
2
so you
plus
were
4.
saying they didn't...
Yeah, so for the coach champs, they just sent out they changed their mind about the profile. Originally, you were supposed to pick your players based on they were just going to send you a list of their rapid chess ratings. So you'd just be like, I would like the 1650 rather than the 1630.
But weren't some of the students known already or no?
It was known by chess.com, but not by anyone else.
Gotcha.
So then they decided fairly late in the game, like, wait a minute, that doesn't make any sense. No one has any basis on which to pick their picks. So they sent us the profiles this weekend without telling us that we were allowed to look at the profiles. So I sent back an email for clarification. Like, you told us we can't look at their profiles. You have just sent us an email and there's a link that shows us like the list of profiles. Am I allowed to look at them or not? See, I was being careful not to break the spirit or rules of the game. I could have assumed like they sent the profiles, maybe we can use them. I'm like, are you sure? And then I just got back an email yesterday saying, yes, I can look at the profiles. And I'm broadcasting this tournament like half the day. And
Yeah, I know.
so
Okay, so it hasn't been a lot of time. Dang.
I'll do what I can today.
Yeah, you gotta look fast. Someone mentioned Osmoata.
Yeah.
I would say that's a good pick. I met her. She was in my Open, one of the streamers,
Okay.
and that was her first OTB tournament. But very motivated. So that could be underdog. I don't know like who she's going up against, but if it's between her and an unknown quantity, she might be good.
Yeah. I'll check them all. I'll have to try and find somebody with like a lower rating who's better, because otherwise everyone's just gonna, pick the higher rated players. That would be a pretty basic strategy. I mean, you got 400 rating point groups, right? So if somebody's rated 1650 and someone else is rated 1420, I mean, the odds are very high the 1650 is the better pick.
And do you know, like, is there a final competition or how does it get scored?
Um, yeah, there's a final competition after 1 month.
And that's a rapid tournament?
Yeah,
So Tim's saying you want the blitz players who haven't done much rapid. Interesting.
maybe if they're very good at blitz.
Right.
All right, Sarge wins.
Yeah. Sarge won that. Very nice technique by you and Sarge.
Resignats comes in. It's not even technique, right? It's just one forced variation with 0 branches.
The best make it look easy. Chess.com rapid or sane rapid?
I'm not sure. I'll check the time control.
I do feel very strongly that 10-0 is not rapid because it's right on the cutoff, and as soon as either player spends a second, you're in blitz. It's blitz.
Hmm.
So
Yeah. No, 10-0 is blitz. I agree.
yeah,
But 10 plus 5, you could say, is
that's rapid.
a fairly rapid, but it's rapid.
That's rapid.
This leaves basically Salem and Sindarov playing a queen endgame.
Yeah.
Sindarov not having a successful outing yet at this tournament.
Yeah, he needs to break out, so he desperately needs this one if he can win it. Objectively, I would guess it's a draw, but practically, what do you think are the chances here?
Yeah, I agree with you. I thought he had more chances when it was queen and rook against queen and rook. I really thought like he could maybe win it. White had a B pawn, and they sacked the B pawn to go to queens, which to me increased White's drawing chances. But this endgame, I would think, I don't know, 80% draw, 20% win.
Okay.
I'm a bit pessimistic, but I don't see like a million plans for black. Pretty much, I just see pushing the F pawn.
Yeah, F5 you can play somewhere, and then White has to be precise not to blunder a particular queen trade.
Yeah. I guess an important point, folks, is imagine G5, H takes G5 in this position, and then F takes G5. Obviously, Queen G5 is another discussion, but if you just imagine the Queen and Knight pawn, I know we say the Queen and Knight pawn is so complicated and difficult, but that's only if the White King is on a random square. If the White King is in position to receive the G pawn, then it's actually a dead draw. There's no difficulty at all.
Yeah,
Yeah.
easy draw.
You just sit there, and honestly, there's nothing black can do. You don't need to play a single precise move. Just
Right.
keep your king in front.
Just don't blunder into a lost king and pawn endgame, which is hard to do.
Which is hard to do because they're basically all draws.
Yeah.
But an example would be if black plays queen takes G5 here. It may look, oh shoot, now I'm in a lost king and pawn ending after I go queen G5, king G5, and black gets the opposition and then I resign. But you don't have to take on G5. Just because the queen trade is forced,
Right.
you can wait. So you play a move like king F3, and the game is still a dead draw.
Yeah. And now king G6 we're ready to take already.
Yeah. So queen C1 played. I don't see anything other than F5 at some point, and I just think with the white king there to receive it and all the perpetual chances, very, very slim hopes.
Okay. David, I think I'm going to call it for me on today.
All right.
I want to play the Hikaru after party blitz thing, assuming we're still invited. I think it's open.
Okay.
So I'll be streaming in a bit, folks.
Yeah. They'll let you go to the party, but it'll be like a little awkward. People be looking at you.
Yeah. You're like,
He hangs out with that guy who said the word Auschwitz.
yeah. And also it's like, are you? Because I'm going there to farm. You know, it's part of my quest. So I'm going there to farm myself.
Yeah. Do it.
So yeah. Folks, that'll do it. We'll be back not tomorrow, rest day tomorrow. 2 days from now, more Grand Swiss coverage. But David's got the Coach Champs thing, so check that out on chess.com. That should be super exciting. I think that'll be fun. You're going to do like some training on stream, like with your students and stuff?
Yeah, as long as I pick well and my students are willing to train, we will do a ton of training.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah.
Dang. Actually, this tournament's kind of a big deal, I guess. Because it's like, you're there, Dina's there, Russian chess school. Levy's there, right? Levy's a coach.
Yeah.
I think Andras also.
Andras, yeah.
Do you remember the others?
Arkady. Oh, no, sorry.
Arturs, yes.
Naxons. Yeah. Another good coach.
I think Robert Ramirez was one. So basically, it's a pretty stacked lineup, actually. So if you can win, that would look really good.
I can, Kostya, don't worry.
All right, you got this. Okay, folks, that'll do it for the stream. Stay tuned for a raid. Who are we raiding? No one's even covering this tournament anymore. I don't see Chess24. We outlasted Chess24 on the coverage.
Are you kidding me?
I don't see them live. They
Oh my
gave
goodness,
up.
You're right.
They gave up on this endgame.
They gave up on Sindarov. He's going to be all alone in a moment with that one clapping arbiter, or maybe both arbiters.
Oh, we got a raid. I am Rosen.
Hey, Eric.
What's up, Eric? Oh, this is bad. That means Title Tuesday's over, too. Uh-oh.
Title Tuesday.
So who are we going to raid?
It's going to be a streaming wasteland.
Jeez. Hey, thanks, Eric. Thank you. Folks, we were actually literally just wrapping it up here ourselves. We have been covering Grand Swiss basically all morning. And this is like the final endgame, but we're basically finishing it up. I'm planning on streaming actually in about like 100 minutes. There's this Blitz event. So
yeah.
Thanks for joining. It's a shame to send you all away. David, do you wanna keep streaming? Are you?
No, I've been going for 7 hours and 20 minutes or whatever since 3 a.m. So I'm gonna take a quick nap and then prepare for Coach Champs.
Nice. Maybe I'll stay on for a couple minutes. If anyone is new to the dojo, has questions, regulars, got some chess questions, I'll hang out for a little bit.
All right, this is your chance, folks, to get an honest answer about your coaching or chess learning questions. No one else will tell you. Kostya will tell you.
Yeah. Or you guys can ask me about controversial stuff, and I'll try not to get canceled. Also cool.
Oh, yeah. See if you can get Kostya to say the wrong thing. Jesse and I would appreciate it.
It's been online for a long time.
All right. Cheers.
Cheers, David. See ya. Okie dokie. So I guess this game's still going. We can kind of just keep our eye on it, but I'll say, let me see who's around. Coach Champs starts tomorrow, Skibix. So tomorrow, David mentioned he's doing the draft, 8 a.m. Pacific time on chess.com on their channel, and then it's like a month-long competition. So, coming up. Yeah, very, very soon. Houseline asks, what are my worst streaks as a chess Grandmaster Gifts. I feel like I'm stronger than my rating. Should I try to play up in the next tournament? I would say playing up is generally good. Even if you don't think you're underrated. Simply just to play higher competition. Like in the Grand Swiss here, we've seen so many upsets because players have basically stopped fearing the elite and are now just going after them and just going for it, trying to win. And I don't know if this is like a new thing. It feels a little different than before, but it really seems like in this Grand Swiss, there's just so many like underrated 2600 killers that they just don't see themselves as 2600s. They just see themselves as not yet elite. So guys like Mishra, Parham, these guys are just, maybe Mark Andrea, these guys are like, yeah, my rating just hasn't caught up yet. So, but even if that's not the case, you don't think you're tremendously underrated. The way you get stronger is by playing stronger players. So I think it's totally valid strategy to try and improve. Elio Yellow asks, should I mark some hours in the training program for an OTB Rapid and Blitz event? Yeah, I have a custom task. I can even show you guys my own profile. There you go. Let's see, you guys. Oh yeah, so that's me. And I've got some custom tasks for myself. I'll show you my full training plan here. So I have a custom task for OTB Blitz and Rapid. I have a custom task for online Blitz. I have a custom task for online Rapid. And I keep these updated. I also have one for commentary. I don't think I'm going to keep doing this one because I just feel lazy tracking all the hours of commentary. Just 960 Blitz, apparently I have a custom. So I've got some custom tasks, so I try to keep track of all the chess I do. And then maybe it's helpful, maybe it's not, but at least I try to keep track of it. This here's my heat map. I just updated this thing recently. So you guys can't fully see, but there's a lot of color in July, August. How's the Blitz grind going? Good. Yesterday we took a bit of a tumble, but we'll be back at it today. You do have less chances of a prize if you play up. Yes, that's true. So you kind of have to decide for yourself. Do you want to play for money or play for rating? And then choose accordingly. So I always tell people, like, if you're gonna go play a big open like World Open, Chicago Open, Vegas, something like this, then I would just play in your section because like there are big prizes available, right? You should try to fight for it. And those tournaments are going to be very hard anyway because players are typically giving it their all and they're underrated. But if it's like a smaller event and then your section is like maybe not that strong, you want to play up, then I think that's totally reasonable. Far Eastern. I don't know how the Lichess rating system works. So how many games do you need? Why would it matter the ratings of your opponents? Isn't it just a matter of how many games you get to get a non-provisional rating? Or am I misunderstanding? Yeah, to win something like World Open, any section, you need to be like 200 points stronger than the section maximum, basically. Very tough. How do I currently train calculation and visualization myself? Generally through solving exercises, like from books. It's like Dvoretsky, Agard. There's no shortage of puzzle books that are like really hard, and so when I'm training calculation, I sit down OTB, try to spend like 10-15 minutes per puzzle. If I happen to solve something quickly, I'll move on quickly, but if I don't solve it, then at least 10, but probably like 15 minutes I would spend on it, maybe more, sometimes longer. Like with a training partner like me and someone I work with, we can spend like half an hour, 35 minutes on a position. Like if we feel like we're like close, want to like analyze for a while and then check the solution, see what you missed, And yeah, I think the biggest thing is that you have to do it consistently. So basically, like an hour a day, I think is really good for calculation. 45 minutes a day, as long as you, uh, as long as you maintain the effort every day. I think that's what's important. Ooh, Solemn. Nice stalemate idea. Ooh. Ooh. Is Eric still watching? Eric likes this. Nice. Nice. That's just such an enjoyable move to make, you know? You gotta love chess for moves like this. Blindfold solving is good. Blindfold solving is a great way to work on your visualization. So you would start with like simpler puzzles and then slowly do harder and harder stuff. Do I think the big Polgar book is good for calculation training? Yeah, I mean, we're in the dojo. That's one of the mainstays. We're a big fan of the Polgar mates, the mate in twos, mate in threes, because like the mate in twos are tricky where the first move is not a check, right? So you have to work it out. Yeah, unfortunately, it's just one move. So he has to go back. I mean, yeah, so with black to play, black would go queen e3 check, but also white just doesn't have another move as to move the queen. So here, and yeah. He's holding it. He's holding it. Oh, I see. I don't know how the deviation thing works, but if you're only playing people 2, 3, 4 cohorts above you, I mean, you definitely want to mix. You don't just want to only be playing higher rated players, right? I mean, that sounds depressing at some point, just getting like beat down over and over. Um, so what about the dojo round robins? Wouldn't you be able to get equal rated opponents there? How do those tournaments work? So Dojo has a number of tournaments. Here, I'll go back to our page. And oh, we had a tournament info page, but I don't know if the link works. ChessDojo.club/ there we go. So here's the info page. So we have 3 types of tournaments: round robins, open classical, and Dojo Liga, which is kind of like our weekly like blitz and rapid events. So how do you schedule the games? Generally, it's with the opponent. So you get your opponent's like username, their Discord, and then people are generally pretty good about messaging each other and scheduling. Yeah, the round robins, those are 1 game a week. No, sorry. The open classical is 1 game a week. The round robins, there you can play, you can schedule your games for whenever. So the idea is like, you have 8 opponents or something, or 7 games. You have 2 months to play the games. You schedule them with each opponent, and so this gives people time to schedule all their games. They can afford to miss a week or 2, right, if they need, but then they can still get their games in. So the round robins are super, super flexible. Oh, but it's 30 plus 0. Yeah, I was thinking this is actually maybe something I'll bring up, but I was thinking that we should just have increment as a minimum. For like it should at least be 30 plus like 15 or something. I don't think it has to be 30 plus 30, but 30 plus something feels better. Have Dojo discussed Title Tuesday changing time format? We discussed it very briefly today. None of us really care that much about the time control. It's like, it's a choice. I'm not a fan of 5-0. I think it's too long. I would rather play 3-0 or 3-1, but whatever. I don't. It's not a huge deal to me. Could be fun. Maybe we'll get used to it. Let me go back to the board. Ooh, we have F4. So yeah, Far Eastern, I guess I would say maybe just, at that point, if none of our tournaments are working for you, at that point you gotta either find a training partner to play some games with or just play against the pool. I think if it's just a matter of getting your rating out of provisional, I would think just playing enough should do it. And yeah, it won't be the best games, I think, but at least you'll be able to play like with increments and basically whenever. And I think it's really important to get games in. So it's like, generally we recommend folks to be playing quite a bit. I think one classical game a week is good, but you can definitely do more if it's like 30 plus 15, for example. Like when we say one classical game a week, a lot of times we're thinking about like a 90 plus 30, right? So it's like a huge chunk of time. But if it's like a 30 plus 15, then you can definitely do multiple games a week. And I would think you would get your a stable rating. Yeah, the AIs, they haven't quite figured out chess just yet. I just want to see the things. Oh, I can't believe we have to wait till Thursday for the next round, but I think that's good. Players get some rest. We can all get some sleep. I think it's good.